I played 100 Days of Stardew Valley Expanded for the first time ever. Let's just say it's about time. I simply cannot resist the urge any longer. I've almost 1,000 hours in Stardew, and I have not yet played with a single gameplay mod. It's all been vanilla. But as you can probably tell, that's all about to change, because I can't seem to escape Stardew Valley Expanded content from flooding my feeds. It's basically a threat at this point, a threat I take seriously, by the way. And with Concerned Ape hiring the creator to help code actual Stardew Valley, I just can't deny it anymore. It's like an unofficial official DLC. With that being said, I will be going into this mostly blind, and I intend to keep it that way. I am not letting myself look up any hints, tips, or how-tos. I have to go in raw, and so you've been warned. But just because I'm not looking things up doesn't mean I don't have some goals in mind. Essentially though, I do want to keep it simple. I want to figure out what the heck is happening in Stardew Valley Expanded, and I hope to finish the community center along the way. So without further ado, let's jump on in to day 1. Of course, I named my farm Slightly Bigger Farm because we are all about expansion around these parts. I do have to say, I was a little scared I did install the mod wrong because I didn't see any new farms or clothing options. But my fears were quickly put to rest when I saw I had 32 whole people to meet. And the map is looking a bit expanded, so I think it's safe to say I installed this mod correctly. So right away, things start off normal with those typical free parsnip seeds. I did notice a new kind of tree. I can't tell you what kind it is, but I can tell you I'm not used to seeing it in my vanilla gameplay. Anyway, Morris now has a birthday. Whether or not that is cause for celebration is still to be determined. In other news, I did spot some new seeds, which is very exciting, so I just had to buy a few. After which, I did continue to explore. There's another new location near the beach where I ended up finding the infamous pink-haired girl Sophia. I don't know a lot about this expanded mod, but I do know I've seen this woman's face literally everywhere. But she's already had her screen time in other content, so I continued my exploration, where I dug up a spring onion. I did find Farmer Andy lurking nearby. I don't know what to make of him quite yet, but the exploration continued. But, Lewis? What are you doing at Willie's when he's not here? I hope you're not doing anything nefarious. Not that I could really do anything about it, but I guess for the time being, Lewis, just carry on, good sir. I followed up my Lewis investigation with a quick donation to the museum, where again, things looked expanded, if I say so myself. I do spot some stairs that aren't normally there, but still, even with the mod, poor Gunther is left in the dust. Oh well. Anyway, I met Morris and Claire. The cash register lady now has a name. How immersive. And who is this? Victor, you say? Okay, I'm not going to lie. I did think Victor and Olivia were married. Clearly, this is not the case. My bad. Or maybe I'll just chalk it up to my imaginative thinking. In any case, there is so much new stuff, and quite frankly, I don't really know where to start from here. But I guess I will take the time to plant my seeds, because I am still a farmer after all. At least, I think so. Anyway, I must have been so overwhelmed that I reverted to my challenge roots, because I quickly watered my crops before going to Willie to get my hands on that fishing rod. And then I quickly scampered up to my tried and true mountain lake to fish. It was clear I had bad luck, but I soldiered on. I caught a tadpole, so that was new. But I clearly wasn't super prepared because I caught so many fish, I ended up releasing some of them. And yes, I have decided to wait until I get to level 5 to sell my fish because I am financially responsible. So yes, you did hear that and see that right. I completely ignored the villagers on day 2. And don't you worry, I almost did the same on day 3 as well. But it's not my fault on day 3 since it was a rainy day. I just can't change the deep-rooted need to fish for catfish on day 3. I'm pretty sure at this point there's nothing that can ever be done to steer me away from this way of life. But you can try, I guess. Anyway, I went straight to the river to fish. And when things don't go my way, yes, I did resort to thinking it was just a bad luck day. Of course, it couldn't be my subpar skills keeping the catfish away. No, trust me, it's just bad luck. But I did manage to fish up a diamond, so the jury really is still out on the whole luck thing. In my defense, I did catch 2 catfish. I mean, sure, I could have caught a lot more, but at the start of the day, I had 0. So I do think that's a win. Please, just let me have this. I must admit, fishing by the town center might not have been the best move since I was getting a serious case of FOMO. I had to stop fishing immediately to head on over to the saloon to talk up the town. I still have to meet all 32 villagers. But for the record, that's not about to change after talking at the saloon this one time. I did make sure to talk to Victor. I am undecided on him. Sure, it's been about 3 days exactly, but I'm not sure what to make of him quite yet. His wife, mom, is so nice so far, so maybe she raised him right. One can only hope. Having had enough socialization, I did take the edge off by doing a late night forage session. As day 4 rolled around, it was time to get back to business. I got distracted by the grind, and for that, I simply cannot apologize because that would be like me apologizing for being myself. And well, okay, maybe I really should apologize. Regardless though, I think I want to focus on befriending Vincent, Sophia, and the wizard. And Morris. I almost forgot about him, but let's not forget about Morris. I see that you can now romance the wizard, and let me just say, my interest is piqued. Shane is still as rude as ever, not even a mod could fix his personality. And that's coming from someone who does love Shane. And the wizard might have taken a page out of Shane's book because he was playing hard to get. But hey, at least the Hat Mouse looks to be up and running as normal. I went looking for some spring onions, and I swear, Andy must have been eating them since I've only ever found one so far, and it was the one that was buried. He must have been saving that one for later. I chatted up Sophia, but suffice to say, I still really know next to nothing about her. She really is not giving me a lot to work with right now. And, who is this person? Stranger Danger? I have walked all over this town, and I have yet to see this man. Who is he, and why is he hiding from me? At least I was able to find Victor, but I might as well not have even tried to talk to him because he wouldn't talk to me. Rude. To try and feel productive, I did pick up a green algae request for Pierre. And yes, I did forget about the supply I had back on the farm because I went on over to the nearby river to fish. And okay, it might have been a good thing my supply was forgotten because I did manage to catch a goldfish. But I saw Victor walk past, so I had to halt my fishing efforts to finally talk to him. To be honest, I have no idea what Victor is working on, so his conversation is meaningless. But let's see if I learn anything useful from Morris. He does seem to me to be a bit of a min-maxer, so he fits perfectly in the Stardew community. But then it was back to river fishing. I snagged a minnow. It is a wimpy fish. It's only worth 3 energy, so I felt like it was a safe option to release it back into the wild so I could get my hands on that green algae and deliver it to Pierre. Then it was back to the boring task of clearing my farm. The next day, I had to do some obligatory farming. I may not be chained to my Joja desk anymore, but I am surely chained to the farmer way of life. I specifically waited enough time so I could trigger the community center cutscene. Claire clearly was not having it, and neither was Victor, but at least he is nice. Since I harvested my first batch of nips, I made sure to stock up on some seeds, and just so you know, I didn't count how many I would need, but I did end up buying the perfect amount. That's just pure skill. And yes, I did almost get lost on my way to the mines, because why did I think that area would not be expanded as well? I did go ahead and dive on into the mines. So far, I did not see anything new and exciting, but I did make it down to level 10. I do have to say, I like how close the Adventurers Guild is to the mines. Like, I can just pop in on my way back to the farm. I will be ignoring the fact I do think the walk back to my farm is now longer. I do not appreciate that. I made sure to chuck the rest of my uneaten nips into the bin because, as you can see, my pockets are dry. I've been schmoozing up the town instead of building some sort of empire, so I am short for gold. But I don't think my farmer is taking it too well. Anyway, on day 6, I needed to meet with my man the Wiz. And okay, I see some new stairs. Don't mind me, I'm not snooping at all. Trust me. And oh wait, okay, I was actually able to walk down the stairs. So I guess with this mod, you don't need to befriend the wizard in order to change your appearance, which is nice. But enough of that. I finished up meeting with all the villagers after heading over to Marnie's. And yes, I did go on ahead and sacrifice one of my fibers so I would complete the gift-giving quest. Honestly, I'm surprised she didn't hate it, so you know what? I'll take it. And okay, I was greeted with an Andy cutscene. I still don't know much about him, and how am I just now noticing he is a total Joja loyalist? I wonder if he's friends with Shane. Is he giving me strawberry seeds for free? Pierre could never. Oh wait, I might have blacked out after I read strawberry seeds because where are they? I don't see them. I didn't have enough time to mourn the strawberry seed loss because I was thrust into yet another cutscene. One with Sophia this time. And at least Sophia showed up for me and gave me a sprinkler. I simply cannot deny this queen behavior. Sophia, you literally just gave me a sprinkler. Have some patience, please. I did give her a horseradish, and it's another win for me because she didn't hate it. Victor was nowhere to be seen, so I checked out the community center bundles, and it does look like there's some new items to collect. How exciting! I totally can't wait to see if I'll be able to get everything in year 1 without looking it up. That should be fun. Anyway, I was finally able to identify the stranger danger man. I guess you could say he's a stranger no more. Whoa, guys, there's a bathroom in this game now. My mind is blown. On the topic of my mind being blown, why is Shane in Pierre's? That just feels so wrong for some reason, but what felt right was putting my sprinkler to good use. I planted some seeds, but then it was right back to my Victor search. I do feel a bit like I'm stalking him, but what he doesn't know won't hurt him. Victor seems a little awkward, and honestly, I kind of like that. To celebrate knowing a little bit more about him, I did finish off the spring forage bundle. Looks like I'll have to collect some new fruits and crops, as well as some new fish. I'm suddenly regretting letting that minnow go the other day. If only I had known. And are you kidding me? Look, that frog is so cute. I need him, and I need him now. I finished the day off with another nighttime foraging session. And be assured that I was finally able to find some normal spring onions. I was thinking maybe Andy was hoarding them all. Speaking of Andy, I am so sorry, my king, for ever doubting you. I woke up to some strawberry seeds in the mail, so you bet I planted them. But since it was raining, I headed on over to the river to do some fishing. But it wasn't too long before I took a break to get some good conversations in. Victor remains awkward and it is really growing on me, but he didn't seem to love the fish I gave him. Victor, I'm just gonna lay it out there. You're going to have to lower your standards when you're around me since I'm broke, okay? I got a new JoJo cutscene, and Morris, don't be ridiculous. I need your love, not your seeds. So get with the program. And Sophia, my girl, that is not helpful in the slightest. Okay, you need to prepare yourselves. In my last video, I did see some comments saying that you can aim your fishing rod with the direction keys. So right now, I'm going to put that to the test. And yeah, my mind is blown. You're telling me I've been able to do this for who knows how long and I've never known about it? I swear, there's always something new to learn about this game every single day. It's truly the gift that keeps on giving. I spent hours fishing, so long I forgot I had already given Victor a gift. I had fished up a diamond and wanted to see if he'd like it. From the little I know of him, I feel like maybe he wouldn't like something so flashy, but it is the most valuable thing I have. But I couldn't even give it to him. Guys, is Lewis canonically magical? Because what do you mean this man can smell that I was donating to the community center? Anyway, I did do some socializing at the saloon, and it looks like there's some new recipes to buy. But then it was right back to fishing. I only managed to catch 2 catfish, but I did reach level 4 fishing, so I'm just about to get that level 5 perk so I can finally sell all those slimy, decaying fish in my chests. Instead of spending the 8th day fishing, I did head back over to the mines, where I was able to make it down to level 25. Of course, I stopped by the Adventurers Guild, and look at this cool dude. I want to be just like him when I grow up. In less exciting news, more of my nips were ready for harvest, after which I paid Sophia a visit. And, is it just me, or does she seem threatened? By me? Girl, trust me, you have nothing to worry about. I barely have anything to my name, so safe to say, your wine empire is safe. For now. Wait, okay, maybe that is a threat. Anyway, I can't deny it. Victor is straight up spoiled. It is a bit embarrassing, but I'll try not to hold it against him. I mean, he does look sad for trying to hire me as his personal butler, and it is the thought that counts, I guess. At least I have Dusty, he hasn't betrayed me. I made sure to plant some more seeds so I can complete some bundles at the community center. And Andy, what are you doing? You know what? I don't even want to know because I have fish to catch. I spent the rest of the day fishing at the beach, looking to see if I could catch any new fish, but all I got was some new seaweed. Guys, I swear, I can't ignore a rainy day to save my life. I went straight to the river to fish, but I kept getting wimpy little smallmouth bass. Rude. So naturally, I took a well-deserved break to go on over to see Victor. but he was nowhere to be seen. Victor, where are you? Left to fend for myself, I went straight back to fishing, and my spirits were low. And not just because Victor had ignored me. No, the catfish were so inspired by Victor, I couldn't manage to catch even one. I did eventually have something to sleep on, so I just quit fishing while I was ahead. And unfortunately, Victor was still nowhere to be seen. He really loves to rub salt in my aching wounds. I guess he must not want the bread I found in the trash right outside his house. His loss. At least, I did have the sense to do something productive, donating the fish I had stocked up to the community center. After which, I was finally able to find Victor once and for all. Victory is mine. And his apparently, because I did give him that trash bread. And he must not have hated it because we now have one heart together. For some reason, I decided fishing was the best way to celebrate such a momentous occasion. And it seemed the catfish were finally on my side because yes, I caught one catfish. And oh, is that also a dino egg I caught? Yeah, it is. On top of it, I reached level 5 in fishing. I can smell all the money that's about to come my way. The 11th was another rainy day, surprise, surprise, and just like clockwork, I couldn't resist the call to fish. However, I did have to tend to my farm first, but then it was right on over to the river, where I caught 2 catfish before Pierre's even opened. I did say hi to Sophia, but I swear I still don't know a single thing about her. Willie, what are you doing here, my man? He said I need to fish to the east of the map, so I will keep that in mind. Victor, on the other hand, was hiding from me once again, but I could see him tucked away in his bedroom. One more heart, and this will be a problem of the past. Love me, Victor, please. I ended up giving Shane an earth crystal that he had requested and decided to go on and say hi to Morris. I swear, Morris really is a min-maxer, a true visionary, if you will. But enough talk, it's time to fish. I caught 5 more catfish before taking the time to finally talk to Victor. I still don't know what project he's working on exactly, but I'm starting to think maybe that's just a rich person thing. I wouldn't know. I mean, look at me, broke, in more ways than one. I did head on over to the bridge, but there's construction cones and I don't really see anything going on. So Willie, were you lying to me? At least I was able to bring in 8K profits for the day, which wasn't too bad, I suppose. And you can't make this up. It was another rainy day, but this time I had the willpower to resist the fishing itch. And it's all because of Susan. I got a mysterious letter from someone named Susan, so I wanted to go investigate the mountains. But first, an upgraded backpack absolutely was in order. Of course, I made a stop by Sophia's on the way there. And we also now have one heart together, so hopefully I'll start to learn a little bit more about her. One can dream. Anyway, Claire, be so for real. What are you busy with? Yeah, you're on your way to work, but trust me, you won't be late. At least at this point, I can say Victor is nice to me. After forking over the money for that backpack upgrade, I got a little spooked by all the fog at the mountains. Susan, where are you? I couldn't find Susan anywhere, so I decided just to hit up the mines. I was able to get down to level 35, and look, Marlon was lurking nearby when I left. He's watching out for me. What a nice guy. On the day of the egg festival, Andy was at my door. He was going on and on about scarecrows, and my guy, I'm already well protected around these parts. Please, Andy, use protection. I can't say it enough. I do love getting money in the mail simply for existing and being a girl. And I love that the cucumbers are a regrowing crop. What a fun surprise. Hopefully they regrow plenty of times this season. But before the hunt could begin, I did make sure to pick up Robin's axe. I bought a few strawberry seeds while I was at it. And then I made sure to talk to absolutely everyone. I didn't see some of the new villagers, but it's their loss. Literally. And finally, I did learn something about Sophia. She seems a bit introverted, but I guess if I did read in between the lines, I could have already guessed that. But I will count this as a win because, well, it was time to win the egg hunt, that is. I was getting a little nervous because I felt like there weren't as many eggs as usual, but I was able to pull through and get first place. I could just smell it in the air. It was a wood chopping sort of day, and that's exactly what I did, leaving no energy behind in the process. I stepped into a cutscene with Lewis, and oh, that's where Susan is. I'm not as dumb as I thought after all. I hadn't been going out of my mind. If you know me by now or have watched my other videos, you know I'm a chronic dialogue skipper. And while I haven't been doing that with this mod, it's just kind of programmed in me to think if something doesn't work out right away, that I might have just missed something in the dialogue. Guilty as charged. Please take the time to look away because I did go ahead and buy the rest of the wood I needed for a coop. Sacrifices had to be made, and yes, those sacrifices were to my wallet. I was torn on what to do next, but I decided to spend even more money and upgrade my pickaxe. On the way there, I did visit Victor, and again, the man was nowhere to be seen. Olivia is on another planet because she thought I was running errands in her house. I swear, these people think I am the help. No, I'm the one in need of help in all sorts of ways, and clearly you're not helping that. I dropped off my pickaxe and oh, I guess those cones are meant to be there for a reason. You have to install something else. I'm sorry, but this place is expanded enough for me. For the time being, at least. Sophia, it definitely wasn't me who beat you to those eggs. Oh, how did I get this hat? Oh, would you look at the time? I got a jet. And jet on over to Victor I did. He truly is a man of few words. And Lewis, you made it seem like Susan was fighting for her life up there. But now she's fine? Okay, I see your tactics, Lewis. And Morris, please, stop trying to sell me your seed. Oh, another rainy day? By coincidence, I did check the calendar and it is Olivia's birthday. I think she would like a diamond, but where is she? She's just like her son. Or I guess her son is just like her. I gave Victor one of my strawberries, but he didn't seem to like it or love it. Give me something to work with here, please. But I guess I'll just put myself to work and fish. It was a slow fishing day, but I did cut things short to give Olivia her present. It's totally normal that I am following her to the bathroom. Don't question it. I swear, Olivia is obsessed with employment. But I gave her a diamond, and it was one of her liked gifts, so now she's my closest friend with 2 hearts. I can't lie, I did in fact forget Alex existed, but I guess he couldn't extend the same courtesy to me when I was digging through the trash. Mind your own damn business, Alex. I did go ahead and go back to fishing, even if it was a slower day. And guys, it's a good thing I did because I ended up fishing up an ancient seed. and a Neptune sword. Quite frankly, I didn't want the day to end, but it did end. Not that you would even really know or could tell, because it was in fact raining again the next day. But once again, I was gifted more money for simply being me. Instead of fishing, I did proceed to cut down every tree in sight, no exceptions. After which, I did take a break to enter an Olivia and Victor cutscene. And I guess Victor's unemployed. That man complains about his mom taking forever to hire a butler when he's unemployed himself? The audacity! I was completely trauma dumped on and then just left to fend for myself. So to heal my mind, I picked up my upgraded pickaxe, dropped off my axe for the same upgrade, donated to the museum, and then found the magic conch. Or a conch, but I do prefer to think it's magical. I used the wood I had collected to repair the bridge at the beach, and nothing over here looks expanded. Well, at least not more than usual. Okay, Sophia is a reader. I can respect that as a fellow reader myself, but I do have to say, she didn't like my magic conch, and that's just not something I can respect. I did think I would have to go a day without talking to Victor since he was holed up in his room, but he walked out right as I was losing hope. And maybe I should have kept on walking because this man knows how to complain. To blow off some steam, I had really wanted to test out my new sword, but I ran out of time, so instead I did some salmon berry hunting. The rain had finally stopped, so I was able to get a cat from Marnie. Finally! Everyone, meet Tubbington. While I got a new cat, it doesn't seem like there's any new farm animal options quite yet. And it's kind of eerie how well Andy keeps an eye on my farm's activities. Like, why does he need to know I sold those strawberries? Stop being suspicious, Andy. You're going to have to sit down for this. Pierre actually gave me credit for growing those nips. I was about to say I can never find Victor when he's not home, but by chance, I did find him by the fountain. And I don't appreciate him looking pained when I gave him the daffodil I found on the floor. He's so picky. After giving him that flower, I headed on over to the mines to finally put my sword to the test. But of course, I did some salmonberry hunting on my way there. Look, there's a mysterious bear. I hope it doesn't eat me, but at least I have the Neptune sword to defend myself. Yeah, I think you can say the sword works well. A little too well. I made it down to level 45, and when I was leaving, Marlon gave me a fright. Why is he standing there like that? I doubted myself. I bet you doubted myself. But I was able to make it home before the clock struck 2 a.m. On the 18th, I thought salmonberry season was over, but I was never so happy to be so wrong because you probably know it wasn't over. So you know what that means, a good old-fashioned salmonberry hunt. But first, let me talk to Victor. After knowing he's unemployed, I do have to say that I'm not convinced he actually has a project he's working on. And whoa, we're making big steps over here. Sophia wants to talk to me tomorrow. I'll try my best not to forget. And guys, what is this place? You mean to tell me there's been more land I haven't explored? Are you kidding me? How big is this map exactly? As has been the theme of the spring, my mind has been blown yet again. I hope you're keeping count because I'm sure it's gonna get blown again and again, but in a good way because that does mean more salmon berries for me. With all that commotion, I almost forgot to donate the crops I had in my inventory to the community center, but I managed to make it there before the day ended. I woke up bright and early to a new recipe from Olivia, fish dumplings. Maybe if I make this recipe, it will be something that Victor loves, or even likes. Or honestly, it could be something he absolutely hates. I went ahead and made a mail machine for my soul chick. I do have the future on my mind. I did have to backtrack to pet Tubbington. No animal will be left behind on my watch. After which, I donated a green bean to the community center, finishing off the spring crop bundle, which did remind me about the fish. I'm a little paranoid that I'll miss one and be cursed to not finish the community center because of an early mistake. So send all the positive vibes my way. Looks like there are no new boiler room requirements, and I'm not complaining. Okay, so maybe this was predictable, but Claire does not like Joja Cola. She doesn't want to think of Joja, but girl, you're on your way to work. You're about to be thinking a whole lot about Joja, whether you like it or not, so just accept it. I was happy Victor didn't take a page out of Claire's book because he was nicer to me today. But enough. It's time for the mines. I swear I was only going to go down 5 levels, but I was having such good luck, so I continued on down. And naturally, I had made it down 5 more levels, so that's just to say, by the time I made it to the saloon, Sophia was nowhere to be seen. So yes, I am upset at myself, but at least I reached level 3 in farming and unlocked the butter churner. I wasted no time collecting the supplies for said butter churner when I realized it uses milk. Duh! And so it would be kind of pointless to craft it right now, so my hopes and dreams were dashed. Just another day on slightly bigger farm. Victor is still as awkward as ever, and Sophia still gives me nothing to work with. I really wish I had caught her at the saloon last night, but guys, Andy is even worse. He just ignored me. Whatever. I dropped off my axe for an upgrade and then headed back to the mines. I made it down to level 60 and then kept going down to level 65. To add some insult to injury, I passed out on my way home, so there's also that. I walked into a cutscene with Leah on the 21st. If there is a community garden, why does the valley need me and my farm? On second thought, don't answer that. I made a quick museum donation run and then said hi to Victor. I gave him a spare jade, and finally, we have 2 hearts together, and the jade is a liked gift. Who knew you could feel so accomplished by giving a simple gift? But I just knew he was a rock guy. Honestly, I didn't take Andy for a religious guy, but he sure is calling me out. And don't think I didn't notice a moving box at Sophia's. Whose box is this? Is someone going to move in, perhaps? I simply must know. Anyway, I donated more of my things to the community center, finishing off the Adventurers bundle and Blacksmith bundle. And I hate to see it, the bulletin board bundles have even more items than usual to collect. Morris, well, he's more like Boris, or maybe even Snorris, because he's just that boring. I am definitely side-eyeing that tea sapling at the Wizards, but to end the night off right, I placed a tapper on one of the new tree types. On the 22nd, it was a glorious rain day, a day I had been waiting to see again. I crafted a bait maker and used a spare catfish I had been keeping in storage to make some bait. Oh wait, I need a new rod to equip that bait. Novice mistake. I passed the time fishing before it was 9 a.m. where I could hit up Willie's shop. But first, I did have a cutscene with Victor. He called me brave, no big deal. I love when men recognize me for who I truly am. Wait, has Joja always been opened at 10? Or is this just an expanded thing? On my way to Willie's, I did go ahead and pick up my axe. Oh, the plans I have for you. And then I finally bought the fiberglass rod. I swear, Sophia always looks so concerned. So much so, I now feel concerned. Anyway, I did put my new rod and bait to use and caught 9 catfish. It was a bit of a bad luck day, so you know what? I'll take what I can get. And Morris? Yeah, he's a certified Shane hater. The next day, I was able to put my iron axe to good use, like I said I would do. I chopped at the logs at the mysterious shed. I walked inside, but there was really nothing to do there. And then I encountered the trash of a lifetime. I found a battery pack. I'm just built differently, I guess. I then proceeded to break the secret woods log, but before I explored it, I did have to say hi to the wizard. And I swear, everyone in this town is so weird. And yes, I am counting myself in that. Another novice mistake. I forgot my sword, so I had to go in raw to the secret woods, which normally wouldn't be cause for any sort of concern, but this place is, as you would have guessed, expanded. So I was getting ambushed from every angle. I did find a 4-leaf clover and I was excited. It says it's a good gift, but I can't give it to anyone since it is required for one of the bulletin board bundles. But I seriously need to get out of here before I die. I'm far too young to die. Take Lewis instead, he's old enough. With the time left in the day, I did try to catch a minnow, but I think it might have been too late in the day. I can't confirm or deny that information, but regardless, I caught no minnows. And I know a couple days ago, I said no animal would be left behind, but I sadly did forget about my chicken. Mistakes were made. Hopefully my chicken doesn't hold it against me. Robin greeted me on the 24th with news that there's gonna be something else in this godforsaken town to fix up. I don't see anyone else chipping in, and quite frankly, I've had enough. Just add it to my long list of things to do. And oh, it's the flower dance. But I will not be doing any dancing because my sporadic gift giving has not resulted in a friendship of 4 hearts with anyone. Not that I'm complaining, because what do you mean the dance was for fertility, Demetrius? Yeah, I'm happy to sit this one out. The 25th was yet another rainy day, and the time has finally come. I have to spend money on some hay. Yeah, I was putting it off because I simply didn't want to go to Marnie's, but it appears I must. After making sure my chicken didn't starve, I did pay Victor a visit. And let's not beat around the bush, Victor. There is no project. Stop lying to me. But enough of the lies. It was time to fish. To catfish. But not in a nefarious way. With Neve no longer policing the internet streets with his show Catfish, you can never be too careful out there. I did end up catching a decent amount, and I just know they'd sell for so much more if I smoked them, but you know what? It's okay not to be the best version of yourself. And I'm totally telling that to you and not me. Don't be silly. Next thing I knew, Lewis was at my door, and he really didn't need to come all the way to talk to me about shipping bins. Please, Andy, stop trying to convince me to buy you a beer. Thankfully, I did tell him I had to run because I did run right into a Sophia cutscene. Who is this Scarlet person, and why is she calling Sophia Boo? What is going on here? Okay, so what I understand, it looks like Sophia takes some medicine. Right now, I think it's either for anxiety or maybe an autoimmune disease or something, but we'll see if I end up being right. But oh, Scarlet is from Grampleton, and I think that's some kind of other expansion or mod. I don't know. I think it mentioned Grampleton at those construction cones, so that's what I'm going off of. I can't know for certain though, at least right now, because I have banned myself from looking. And oof, okay, yes, I did choose to try and see what medication she's on, but in my defense, I'm nosy and I'll find out sooner or later. And obviously, I prefer sooner. In the meantime, I did manage to catch a minnow, and then I made sure to sword up and head on over to the secret woods. I chopped stump after stump and slayed slime after slime. Nothing was safe from my path of destruction, not even the shrub seed or free rare seed I found. I did some fishing in the pond and there was no frog, so I really hope I'm not missing out on any fish this season. And yes, it might be a little too late in the season to really be too concerned with that. Regardless, another day, another community center donation. After which, I popped into Victor's and I thought he was unemployed. It was just a day of misunderstandings because I thought when Sophia said orange chicken, she meant an actual orange chicken, like Shane's blue chickens, and I did get excited there for a second, but no, my hopes and dreams were crushed. And I have to say, Morris, it is very sad that you are even threatened by Pierre. I mean, it's obvious. I am the one you should be threatened by, but I'll take it as a compliment. I'm just too good at my job. What job exactly, you may be asking? Oh, it seems we've run out of time for that topic. It's time to hit the mines, where I did make it to level 75. On the last day of spring, I bought a pomegranate and pufferfish from the traveling cart. And finally, I gifted Sophia something she at least likes. She does indeed like the 4-leaf clover. To add to my chicken family, I did make sure to buy a brown chicken. Somehow, through spring, I had not done much of my beloved mountain lake fishing, so I headed on up to catch a largemouth bass for the community center. And then it was right back to the mines. I met Emin on the way there, and my stranger danger alerts are going off like crazy. But I did manage to make it to level 85, after which I met up with Victor. And it's clear this unemployed himbo does not have his priorities straight. I had the intention of ending the season strong with more conversations, but no one exciting was at the saloon. So with that, spring has come to an end. And I know it was a long time coming because, wow, I had a lot to say in spring. Maybe a little too much. I mean, this is Stardew Valley expanded after all, so what did you expect? Yeah, this video, it's going to be long as hell. I've just accepted it. I just want to say though, I have been enjoying this mod more than I thought so far. I definitely am embracing talking to some of the new villagers, which I will say is not the norm for me. And side note, I do want to say, playing this and reading the dialogue, I didn't realize how long it adds to your gameplay, as in like actual real life time, because this has also taken an expanded amount of time to play. But anyway, just so you know, I am still a little paranoid I might have missed something in the community center in spring, but I guess the only way to really know if that's the case is to jump right on into summer. Jojo wasted no time guilt-tripping me at the start of summer, but I promptly ignored that letter and proceeded to Pierre's anyway. I've got to say, I am not a Pierre loyalist by any means, but Stardew Valley Expanded definitely brings the heat a bit in regards to Jojo. I did find Victor when he was on the way to the beach. He can't stop talking about how much he loves summer. But then I proceeded to hit up the beach for some seaweed, which I did give to Sophia, and Sophia says it's already so hot out, but Victor said it was the perfect temperature. But who cares who's right, because I have 3 hearts with Sophia. And Andy is way more religious than I thought. If I romance the wizard, it definitely would be an age gap romance. Not that I'm complaining. but he hasn't given me too much to work with. Not that it's looking too hot elsewhere. Finally, Susan will be freed tomorrow. That woman has been trapped for far too long. Victor sent me the ramen recipe in the mail. I like ramen, he likes ramen. What more is there to say? Anyway, I did decide to hit up the mines. I made it down to level 95, but then I was filled with paranoia. What if it was someone's birthday? I would be none the wiser since I'd never seen the summer calendar. So to remedy that, I went into town only to find that no one had a birthday. So I left the mines early for nothing. Victor got a job offer. I didn't know he was an architect. He's kind of like Ted Mosby. But Victor, why would you apply to a job you knew you would decline because of the distance? I think he's got weaponized incompetence. There was an explosion in the night. And oh, hi Susan, I've been waiting for you, don't you worry. And I say that in a non-creepy way, of course. I headed on over to meet Susan, and she's got game. Her farm is so cute, but now there's so many farms in Pelican Town. I can no longer guarantee mine's the best, and I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. Susan's got her priorities straight with all those kegs in her room, but then it was time for me to get back to the mines. I found another sword, but I don't think it comes close to comparing to my Neptune sword. Then I found the slammer. So many weapons in this save. I did make it down to floor 100 for that sweet, sweet star drop. I was reminded of expansion, which is important because I need to be on my A game with Andy, Susan, and Sophia as my competition. I did not find any fire quartz, and to make it worse, I did pass out on floor 108. Out of the goodness of my heart, I gave the wizard some essence, and Sophia was indifferent about the sweet pea I gave her. Not like I plucked it straight from the ground on the way to her house. Like I said earlier, Joja just comes off so much worse with this mod. I mean, they sound like a full-fledged cult at this point. I saw Susan at Pierre's, and I'm starting to question how she was cut off from the town for a month. Like, how did she survive? But wait, she does run a farm, and she does have a ton of kegs, so on second thought, I think she survived just fine. I gave Morris an aquamarine since it was blue, and I'm kinda convinced Morris is a bot. He calls the Joja members his family. That's so gross. No amount of immersion could convince me otherwise. But it does look like my intuition was right, and Morris did like the aquamarine. I had a jade for Victor, but I couldn't find him anywhere, so no gifts for you. Instead, I went back to the mines where I did find an immunity ring. Are the drop rates better with this mod? Because I kind of feel like that has to be the case. Anyway, I then found a pair of genie shoes before getting to level 115 before I sadly passed out for the night. Susan sent me some melon seeds on day 33. Okay, Susan, I see you, and I think I like you. I proceeded to buy a walleye from the traveling cart before heading on over to talk to Victor. I have to be honest here, this man is getting on my nerves. He's so spoiled. He doesn't even want to talk to me. He doesn't have to be so rude about it. Sure, I came in uninvited, but I didn't come empty-handed. I wish I did, because he doesn't deserve my emerald. But he did get it anyway. And truthfully, I don't even know if I like him anymore. To get away from Victor's negativity, I did head on over to the mines, where I found a holy blade. I then reached the bottom of the mines, but still no fire quartz. Surprise, surprise, another person wants me for my supplies. On my way over to see what Clint wanted exactly, I had a marlin sighting. How spooky. I found Victor at the museum. I shouldn't have even been looking for him after yesterday, but it was simply a part of my daily routine at this point. And Clint, maybe you should go find that iridium for yourself. But at least he cracked open a geode that had a fire quartz in it, so I could go on over and finish the geologist bundle, which means the boiler room is done. Little does Andy know, but I too have a forest farm. Guys, this forest is way bigger than I ever thought. It just keeps going and going, so much so I spent the rest of my day foraging. I didn't manage to find any red baneberries. I don't know where they grow, but I hope I can find them eventually. The traveling cart has had good supply so far, and the 35th was no different. I found a rabbit's foot, duck feather, and a tilapia. Of course, since I was nearby, I gave the wizard a gift. He's still not telling me anything too exciting. I did find some orange chicken in Sophia's trash, and I already know she'll love it, but her birthday is this month, I think, so I will hold off on giving it to her. Wait, how does Victor know the wizard is keeping people out of the forest? He doesn't seem like the social type. I guess he probably read it in one of his books. Oh no, Sophia's crying. And yikes, the artifact I gave her was a complete miss. I thought it looked similar to the one in her room, but I guess I was too optimistic. You know you're grasping at straws when a main selling point is the AC at Joja. You can give it a rest with me, Morris, please. Inspired by Clint, I finally went to Robin's to see what I would need to repair the shed and instantly regretted it. That's a ton of supplies. I don't know who these people think I am, but they've got to stop asking me for help. In any case, I caught a tuna at the beach, but I got so fed up with the legend always popping up that I did have to move spots. I definitely did not try to put hay in the mail machine. Don't be ridiculous. Honestly, Sophia, same. But also, I can't lie. I do kind of love to hear that my competition has no motivation. Does that make me a monster? I don't know. Maybe Morris is rubbing off on me, but it might be a well-deserved thought since Sophia did not like the amethyst I gave her. Victor, as always, is silently judging. And yes, I am still talking to him since I am a stickler for routine. Or that's what I tell myself. I, for some reason, gifted him a diamond, even though I had a whole explanation about why I wasn't going to, but we do have 4 hearts together now. Originally, I had been thinking he was too grounded, too humble for a diamond, but clearly, I was wrong. I have learned from my errors. Morris, on the other hand, like I said, it's confirmed he's a bot, but honestly, I do respect it. And no, I definitely did not fish in the ocean because I thought I could catch an eel. Again, don't be ridiculous. Anyway, after catching enough red snappers to be satisfied, I headed on over to the mountain lake. And I'm so happy I did because I caught my son. Look at him, he's so cute. And guys, I have to be real, the subtle misfortunes kept on coming because I did find an orange in my bat cave. I remembered it was Gus's birthday, or at least I was pretty sure it was, so it was destiny. I had to give him the orange. I booked it over to the saloon, only I was too late. So clearly that was not my destiny. Instead, I was made to look like a fool. The 37th was another rainy day, so I gathered up some of my donatable items. I stopped by the mountain lake to try and fish up a sturgeon, but my pockets were full. So I had to do a quick donation before heading back to the lake, where I was able to finally catch the sturgeon to finish off the lake fish bundle. Victor was hanging out at Pierre's, and apparently people are nice to Victor, but Victor is not so nice to people. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Stardew needs a therapist. Morris did not love the diamond I gave him. I had to check him for a fever because that's so out of character. I spent the rest of my time foraging, but still no red baneberry. On cue, the next day was also a rainy day, but it wasn't all gloomy because there was a nectarine in my bat cave. I'm not normally a Batcave loyalist, but this is kind of making me want to be a convert. Anyway, Morris is so extra. He's out here trying to get people to go to Joja. That's when it hit. It's Wednesday. He's a mastermind. I fear Pierre stands no chance against Morris and his ways. Okay, so Morris said I could buy something for the luau at Joja, but he was wrong. He's a scammer. In more exciting news, I finished the crab pot bundle, and then I cut down so many trees. I was beginning to run low on wood and hadn't done a proper farm cleaning at all yet, which is so out of character for me. But I guess you could say I am expanding my horizons, trying new things. And at the end of the day, I did decide to craft a few lightning rods. I probably should have done that earlier in the day since the weather was perfect for it. The skies cleared and it felt so weird to have to water my crops. Those shrub seeds produced some salal berries. And then I walked headfirst into a cutscene in the town center. Andy, there are simply way too many farmers in this town for people to support. And, well, okay, Andy, lower your voice. I can hear you screaming through the text. But wait, who is Kendra? There are so many people to keep track of. Morris is so deep in that Joja Kool-Aid, I don't think he could ever recover. Not that he really needs to. Victor and his mom want to put wine in the luau, but Sophia mentioned putting wine in there yesterday. So I think I'm about to get real drunk from the communal soup. Well, okay, to be fair, Sophia did not specify which pot she'd put hers in, so maybe she'd be spiking the kids' soup, and honestly, more power to her. I did notice a new recipe at Pierre's stall. And Victor, I thought you said you were putting in wine. Harvey, please never talk to me again. Not if you let your inside thoughts become outside thoughts like that. Jody, please, don't put any pressure on me. I am fragile. The soup was pleasant, which is okay, I guess. I should have poured in some wine or something. Seems like most people would have loved that. And we're back to having more rain. At this point, I'll never have to invest in sprinklers because Mother Nature, yeah, she's got my back. Anyway, the traveling cart lady left much to be desired, but Sophia and I reached 4 hearts, so halfway to 8, so we're basically halfway to being besties. Which, if you round up, means we're already there. Take my word for it. Sophia, might I suggest you just grow things in the community garden? Problem solved. Maybe I am Stardew's uncertified therapist, and I never realized it. And oops, I thought Sophia's birthday was this month, but it's actually Victor's birthday that is this month. What a terrible mistake to make. In any case, I did fork over the money for a backpack upgrade, and now Lewis has unlocked a new fear for me. With all this rain, we're definitely going to get flooded. Okay, in Victor's defense, at least he can admit to his moodiness. And I know self-awareness goes a long way, but just because you're self-aware does not mean it's okay. Seems awfully convenient to apologize after I called you out, so verdict's still out on Victor. And woo! The impossible has been done! I found the red brainberries. I knew they had to be in the secret woods or somewhere on that side of the map. I really wanted the red berries from the bushes, but I'll take the brainberries. And oops, I didn't even know I was friends with Shane. I guess the subconscious heart wants what it wants, no matter the mod. But you bet I donated a red brainberry right away, finishing off the summer forage bundle. And be so for real right now, Andy. You go on and on about foraging, but have the audacity to not like the red brainberry I gave you? To the trash compactor with you, Andy. I am done with your nonsense. No surprise, it was raining yet again. My watering can is getting rusty at this point. It was a huge harvest day, so I took care of that, and then I checked my bat cave. and there was a horde of fruits in there. I can definitely get used to that. I forced Robin to finally work and build me a barn. I'm already dreaming of my future butter churner. Who doesn't love butter? Okay, so Victor is an engineer and not an architect like I thought. Not that he'd tell me himself, since he was just ominously hanging out in the rain all by himself. To really stick it to him, I cleared more of my farm and finished off the construction bundle. That'll show him. Another day, even more rain my way. But this time, make it green. Again, there was nothing good at the traveling cart, so I went to the community center and finished off the summer crop bundle. Is it just me, or are there way more trees than there would be on a vanilla green rain day? But maybe that's part of the expanded charm. I just kind of hate that I did start clearing my farm right before the green rain. I did go ahead and pick up a Help Wanted quest to slay some red slimes, so to the mines I went. It did take nearly the entire day, but I was eventually able to slay 10 of them. Oh my god, Marlin, you scared me. A little warning next time would be nice. If you thought the rain was going to stop, you were wrong. The 43rd was yet another rainy day, and it was time to go on a gift tour. But first, I had to craft some more tappers so I could get the tar and juices from all tree types. Then it was time to give the wizard a gift. We're now at 2 hearts, so you could say things are heating up over here. I did give Andy some mayo because honestly, he just seemed the type to really appreciate a good jar of mayo, and he didn't hate it, but he is still a religious fiend. Sophia didn't mind the sand dollar I gave her, but I have still yet to find a reliable liked gift for her, much less a loved gift. And yes, we are ignoring the orange chicken I found. I gave Victor a jade, which did tip us over into 5-heart territory. And is this his first year in Stardew? Because it sounds like he's never seen green rain before. Morris over here definitely is on a mission to gentrify Stardew. I forked over another diamond, but this time to Marnie. And we hit 2 hearts, so you know I went into her room and stole those purple shorts all for myself. I gave Pam a gold bar for some gold. We did a simple conversion. I gave her the bar and then she smelted it into coins. Lewis finally made an appearance, so I was able to simultaneously turn in my slime request and those purple shorts. My time with those shorts was, well, short, but it was too much time if you ask me. I do need a whole body cleanse. Do you think Susan will come out of her room if I wait long enough? My true determination paid out because she eventually made her way out of her room, and Lewis needs to stop gossiping about me to everyone. But I suppose Susan is a plant mom, which, I mean, surprise, surprise, the farmer likes plants. Who would have thought? But okay, that was uncalled for. Susan, have some decency. She didn't love my gift, so to feel better about myself and my efforts, I continued to clear my farm for the rest of the day. I was shocked. The 44th was not a rainy day. I mean, poor me. I had to hand water most of my crops. The absolute horror. To make up for it, I preemptively crafted a butter churner and some preserve jars. And whoa, the bats must have known about my new preserve jars because there was a ton of fruit. Unbeknownst to me, I walked into a wizard cutscene, and he's a confirmed provider. But, I mean, that does kind of fit in with his older man image. Not that I'm complaining. Honestly, I'm surprised the wizard hasn't spotted Andy foraging nearby, because that's all Andy talks about. Well, foraging and yoba and beer. Andy did not particularly like the egg I gave him. I guess he likes it when it's creamy. Anyway, I did enter another cutscene, and I'm just more confused now. I mean, Victor is so hot and cold, but he's a cat guy, and that's certified hot. I don't make the rules. If you thought the scenes stopped there, you'd be dead wrong, because I had one with Sophia. And be real with me, Sophia, the reason I'm asking if you're okay is because you literally just left the hospital. But I did choose the food option since I know she's raved about Gus's orange chicken. See, I'm paying attention. And are you kidding me? There's yet another cutscene, and it does feel a bit like Demetrius is mansplaining to me. I guess it could be just explaining, but like, what if Grandpa already told me this? It's not like I just found out about the valley, my guy. Have some decency. I couldn't find Victor, so I picked up a help wanted quest and dashed on over to the mountain lake to fish for a largemouth bass. I was able to catch one, and look how convenient. Abigail was right there waiting for me. Only one small thing, she wouldn't accept the fish. So I went to talk to Susan before waiting for Abigail's performance. Only after she was done and ready was I able to finally give her the fish. You guys won't believe it, but Victor was being nice again. He does have a good heart under whatever act he's got going on currently. And yes, I did buy my first cow, Mooris. Say hi to my future butter maker. Exploring a bit, I caught a new fish, a gar, and then I found a new mushroom. It kind of reminds me of that one Pokemon, if I'm being honest. You know the one. I was surprised to catch a catfish in summer, but I guess you can with this mod. You know, you never stop learning in life. Lewis, my man, my guy, my mayor. You have to stop saying that. This time will be the time I actually see if Sophia shows up to the saloon tomorrow. I went ahead and caught some carp. In doing so, I actually fished up some earth crystals, which coincidentally I was about to go hunt for in the mines. Of course, after catching enough carp to satisfy Demetrius, I decided to hit the mines anyway. I found the amber artifact I needed for the community center on my way there, but then it was time to collect copper and earth crystals. On cue, there was yet another rainy day. The traveling cart didn't seem to appreciate the rain because she had nothing good to sell me. Morris, seriously, are you kidding? There's not enough time in the season to plant melons, you mad man. Guys, I just realized something really sad. My ancient fruit plant was struck down by lightning. Andy must have asked Yoba to strike me down because that really hit me where it hurts. Okay, Sophia, I see you. Even though she owns a vineyard, she buys wine at Gus's. The dedication, I can respect. She's saying she's trying to be social, but she's sitting all by herself. I feel like she could hang out with Sam, Abigail, and Sebastian if I'm being honest. It's a day for the history books. It's not a rainy day. And I did something a little out of character. I made Robin build me a horse stable. I have the need for speed that just can't be quenched. I didn't just want a horse, I needed it. I found another thing of orange chicken in Sophia's garbage, so I can finally give her one. But not today because I've reached my limit. My gift-giving limit, that is. And maybe that was for the best. Because she did say she had a stomach ache, so I don't think some trashy orange chicken would make her feel any better. Thank God for Willy. I was wondering about the king salmon. I hope I can catch one because I don't want to be left in the dust. Not using the wiki is making me paranoid, as you've probably noticed. Side note, but are Andy and Pam a love story in the making? I did a bit of fishing at the secret woods, no king salmon. I then did some fishing at the river, no king salmon, but I did get some tags for the trout derby. I then went deeper in the deep woods and fished over there. I think Willie said the king salmon was in the west, but still, no king salmon. I did catch a puppy fish and then a butterfish, but where is that salmon? Where can he be? The guttural urge to look at the wiki is growing. I mean, my time could be limited, or it couldn't. Quite frankly, I have no idea, and that's absolutely terrifying. The 49th was another day of no rain, and I was thankful because I have a king salmon to catch. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I couldn't find Sophia, so I went to Victor's. He was playing Super Smash Sisters. To get him to talk to me, I did give him an emerald, and we hit 6 hearts. And then I was immediately thrust into a Victor cutscene again. Victor, I am trying to relate to you and all, but it's definitely a choice to turn down all those opportunities. Oh god, he envies me? I feel like Victor has good intentions, but he's just a little bit too privileged, or a lot of it. I mean, couldn't he be a freelancer and then be his own boss? Isn't that kind of what Sebastian does? I had enough of Victor, okay? It's time to give Sophia a loved gift. Finally. But we are lagging behind with 5 hearts. Then it was back to fishing. I caught a dorado, a bull trout, and a butterfish. But no king salmon. I feel like I have to be fishing in the right spot, but I also can't confirm it, so I could be wrong. And I'd really be none the wiser because I'm starting to forget what Willie even told me. But please don't let that be the case. I got my first milk of the season, so you know what that means. Butter time! And guys, Sophia reminded me about my horse. The horse I left back at home without naming. I was trying to think of a name and decided to avoid making a decision altogether by visiting Sophia. She didn't let me off the hook. Anyway, Victor's birthday is tomorrow, so it's up to you all to make sure I don't forget. And Victor, at the ripe age of adult, has an allowance. That's such a rich kid thing, and it's kind of giving me the ick. I did give him a butterfish regardless of this feeling, and he loved it. The description of the fish said something about Ferngill Republic, and I do remember him mentioning it before, so I thought he might like it, and turns out he loved it. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm kind of proud of that, especially as someone who doesn't normally read dialogue. But apparently I too have an allowance since Olivia gave me some gold. After all of that, I finally headed back home to name my horse McQueen, named after the one, the only Lightning McQueen. My brain was short-circuiting and not expanding on the name ideas, so I thought, you know what, who doesn't love Lightning McQueen? Anyway, if the wizard can see the future, do you think he knows if we get married or not? And yeah, I did get another Neptune sword, added to the collection. Finally, I caught the king salmon. I was sweating there for a bit. I swear I was losing hope, but I think it was a good luck day, so catching it was a lot easier. Reflecting on it, I do think I had it on the line before, but it was just too tricky to catch it those other days when my luck was worse, is just what I'm presuming. I did spend time fishing at the ocean to see if I could get a starfish, because it does just seem like such a summer fish, but I didn't catch any. And look, my first butter. Isn't it butterful? Guys, I can't at this point. Victor is debating with himself on his birthday. Why is he like this? Despite this, I gave him another butterfish, and we were able to reach 8 hearts. My first villager to reach max hearts, and I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. Olivia, let's get one thing straight. Pure only has the best selection because of me. Morris is on top of it, but why does everyone know I have a horse? To get my mind off all my spies, I went to Clint's to have some geodes cracked open, and I donated what I could to the museum. But then I decided to hit the beach back up, and good thing I did because I finally was able to catch a starfish. I knew to trust my gut. Doing so allowed me to finish off the Ocean Fish bundle. I walked into a cutscene at the Adventurers Guild, and Marlin, I have reached the bottom of the mines, so I think I'm more than qualified for the guild. But who are all these 23 members? I don't see them. Ooh, I spotted a few new recipes at the guild, but then it was time to head back home to continue my clearing efforts. Truly, I miss the rain. It's so dry out here, but don't worry, Susan. I too would like to visit Grampleton one day, I think. I gave Susan a ruby I had handy, and she liked it. But then I headed to Robin's for a silo, only I forgot my stone, so I had to backtrack, pick up my stone, and then force Robin to build me that silo. I ran into a Victor cutscene. I must say, why are they doing this in front of me? Well, I guess they don't know I'm here. And I guess you could just as easily ask, why are you here? But they leave their house unlocked, so they should be ready for intruders. I really don't need to be here though, and please don't ask for my opinion on the whole messed up situation. I chose not to say anything because I wanted Victor's own explanation here. And okay, he finally got a job. Wait, didn't he say he didn't want an internship, but now he's okay being an apprentice? Okay, Victor? I kind of feel like they should kiss, if I'm being honest. I know, I don't want them to, but in my defense, like I said, probably an hour ago in the beginning of this video, I used to think they were husband and wife. In other, less gross news, it is definitely on brand for Morris to like the frozen tear. See guys, everyone knows about my lightning fast horse. Wait, did you see that? Are you kidding? Out of the goodness of my heart, I gave Lewis a pepper I harvested, and then Marnie had the audacity to close shop right in front of me. The shame. The horror. Lewis tacks her into oblivion. Okay, maybe that was a tad dramatic, but in my defense, I'm upset. So let me just go and channel that energy into more farm clearing. My wish had been answered since it was in fact a rain day. And it was a big harvest day. Marnie was finally back at work, so I bought another cow, Mooberry. And then I did some quest clearing. I gave George a hot pepper and a melon to Demetrius. Shouldn't my pal Morris be worried that I'm not a JoJo member yet? Well, Victor, maybe you could do an apprenticeship with me so you can learn what dedication really is. Honestly, I think Victor needs some tough love. Anyway, I found some Blue Moon wine in the trash. I then also picked up a coal quest, so to the mines I went for the rest of the day. And again, another rainy day. Everything is feeling right in the world once more. I bought a large goat's milk from the traveling cart before forcing Robin to upgrade my coop. I paid Clint to open my geodes, and I got not only one but 2 fairy stones, so I can finally see if Sophia likes it. Well, hopefully loves it because she does have one in her room after all. I donated what I could, but why would Lewis say that? It wasn't anyone's birthday, but he was trying to make me feel bad. I wonder if Abigail stole Victor's cat. I do hope I eventually find Dewey somewhere. I did finally reach 6 hearts with Sophia, and then I went and found Susan since I thought she'd appreciate some Blue Moon wine, but she only liked it. She's a tough person to please, I guess. And yet another rainy day. I started off the day by crafting a bee house for some honey, and then I walked into a cutscene where Sophia was crying. She ran off before I could ask her why she was crying. I found a grape starter in her trash, which is very fitting, and I've gotta say, I feel like she's had the best trash loot so far. I did go check up on Sophia, and we watched anime together, but then it was back to chopping down trees and preparing for the fall season. The 56th was the last day of summer. I woke up to a letter from Gus, and I wonder if he now sells orange chicken because of Sophia. Oh, her parents are definitely dead. No one is moving in like I thought. Oops. To cheer Sophia up, I did give her a fairy stone, and she did, in fact, love it. I am getting pretty good at this whole talk to villagers to see what they like thing, or I guess I am just snooping in their bedrooms. But see guys, I told you Morris was a bot. I've said it once, I've said it twice. I feel like this might be the third time, but I mean honestly, he doesn't like the moonlight jellies. Bot behavior. It does make sense, the water they live in would short circuit all his hardware. So can I really blame him? Where is Susan? I didn't find her, so I crafted 8 sprinklers instead, but then she made her presence known. I did find a fancy trash book before it was jelly time. I made sure to talk to everyone before watching the jellies fly away. I would say this summer has been a success. I hope I've gotten everything I need for the community center, but there's not much I can do about it now if I did end up missing anything. I think I want to focus on befriending Susan, the wizard, and Morris in the fall, and I would like to start making a little bit of money, but I am honestly having fun getting to know the lay of this new expanded land. It's fall, and I'm ready for that crisp weather. Speaking of ready, the wizard was ready to train me. I wonder if there will be more magical events the more I befriend the Wiz. Anyway, my coop was finally fully upgraded, so you know what that means. Dino time! But first, it's time to plant a ton of crops. I bought a lot of seeds from Pierre, and yes, I did incorrectly place down some sprinklers. Now that I've had time to think and reflect, I could have just reset the day, but such a mindset is for the weak. So I soldiered on and kept the wrongly placed sprinklers. I did, however, have to make another trip to Pierre's to fill all my available sprinkler space. I made sure to use fertilizer on my crops because I only produce the finest here at Slightly Bigger Farm. Not only will you be intimidated by my slightly bigger size, but I've actually got quality goods. I'm a shower and a grower. Planting, fertilizing, and watering my crops practically took all day. I went off to check my cave when I realized, oh, I forgot all about my dino egg, but that will not continue on my watch. I chucked that egg into the incubator, and then I spent the rest of the day foraging in the secret woods. I found the mushroom colony I'll need for the community center while doing so. On the 58th, I was greeted with the familiar sight and sound of rain. I then walked into a cutscene with the Wiz. Oh, I can collect mana and cast spells? I'm not going to lie, I thought a whole magic system like in Fields of Mystria was being set up, but he was just revealing the Shrine of Illusions, so I think I mentioned earlier that you could go in the basement and change your appearance, and now I'm not so sure if that was actually true because of this cutscene. I never checked to verify, so I guess I'll never know for sure. Since it was raining, I did decide to do some fishing. I set up camp at the river. It took a little while, but I did finally catch a tiger trout. It actually worked out perfectly now that I think about it, because it was then late enough in the day for the eel to be out and ready to be caught. But before I could fish at the beach, I did head on over to Sophia's. I found another thing of wine in her trash, and then I gifted her my last 4-leaf clover. It did push us over to 7 hearts, and now we only have one more till we're certified the best of besties. There are so many farms in this town, but my farm is the one to boost the economy. I'm not saying there's a top farm, but I'm also not saying there's not. Honestly, Victor would be such great friends with Sebastian. Morris is truly a man of fine taste, I see. After chatting up my victims, I headed on over to the beach and was able to catch the eel I needed. So then I was able to finish both the night fish bundle and the river fish bundle. The next day, I tended to my farm real quick before entering a cutscene with Susan. Susan, we don't really have to compare sizes, we can just be civil here. I gave her a ruby, but our friendship is slow going. On my way back from her place, I found both the hazelnut I needed and a new seed, a golden carrot seed. I donated the nut, finishing off the fall forage bundle before taking the time to visit Morris. See, Morris is definitely all computer parts because his mind, it never shuts off. I didn't see that Scarlet was nearby, so she did catch me digging in the trash. Sophia's got the best trash in town, so I couldn't resist. Surely, Scarlet, you understand. Should I listen to my intrusive thoughts and just push Andy in? While I debated that, I did go ahead and buy a duck tape. I still need a duck egg for the community center, but once I get one, that animal bundle will be finished. Another day, another time Andy is called out for his notorious drinking. Some people think Shane is bad, but at least Shane keeps to himself. I headed over to Robin's for a barn upgrade, but I'm too broke. Oof. I guess size doesn't matter in some cases. Well, I guess technically the size of my wallet did matter here, so I take that back. Please, for the love of everything in this Yoba Forsaken world, Victor, stop complaining. I know rich people are people too, but please have some perspective. I feel like he's woe is me all the time. Claire says she doesn't know much about Pelican Town, but I'm pretty sure she's here most of the day, 7 days a week. Morris, this one might be on you, but I still can't deny that something within me does appreciate Morris's hustle. Sue me. Sophia's parents definitely died today. Not like today, but a today of the past. You know what I mean. Anyway, I sold my huge stockpile of weapons, which did give me enough money for that barn upgrade. And then to the mines it was for me, so I could collect some more materials because I'm fresh out of stone. It was like my dad could sense that because he did end up sending me stone in the mail the next morning. I was able to get my hands on a fried egg. Andy, my guy. From what I've been hearing, I think you relax a little bit too much at the saloon most days, so it's good you won't be continuing that today. I entered another cutscene with Sophia. She's kind of like the Elsa of modern times. I picked up a Squid Kid request, and on my way to the mines, I did do a bit of socializing. I found a gold bar in Victor and Olivia's trash, so I handed it on over to Olivia. She seemed to like that trash gold bar. I swear, my distaste for Victor grows each day. He's always so concerned about what other people think, and not in a good way. It's getting exhausting listening to him, but I am determined to read through all his dialogue. While I did say Sophia is a modern-day Elsa, I think Morris over here is a modern-day Mr. Krabs. So I think I know why Claire doesn't know much about Pelican Town. Morris pays her an unlivable wage, so she's spending all her time working. And if she's not working, she's too exhausted to do anything else. Morris, get your act together. He truly is a Mr. Krabs. I quickly finished the artisan bundle off at the community center before making my way to the mines, where no squid kids were found. I can't fully explain it, but Wiz, I do have a sinking suspicion that Olivia would not like to be trained by you. Does she even know of your existence? Andy is giving me the creeps because he continues to keep a tab on me. Leave me alone, Andy. I should have pushed him in. If only I had let the intrusive thoughts win. I helped Sophia unpack her parents' room, and then she asked to hug me. Whoa, I was not expecting that. Guys, Victor continues to get on my nerves. He just keeps going on and on about how he doesn't know what to learn. I can't at this point. Morris, Claire is currently restocking, so I think she's got you covered there. It was time to go back to the mines as I searched and searched for a squid kid, but sadly none appeared. So that help wanted quest will go unanswered. Whoa, Sophia sent me some aged blue wine in the mail. I don't know if it would be better for me to drink it myself or to just gift it to someone. I tended to my farm and animals. I don't think I've ever petted my duck, and I guess I won't today either because it was hiding from me. I did go on and reach 5 hearts with the wizard, so I am moving up in the world. Who are the Jenkins? Is that Olivia and Victor's last name? Honestly, I'm not quite sure, but I did give Sophia the last orange chicken I had since we were close to 8 hearts. I've got to be real with you here, Morris. I don't think this really feels like the family you've been trying to make it out to be, and so I told Morris to be nicer. If they really were family, you would pay them more. Okay, so Morris is mad at me, but we did hit 4 hearts regardless, so he can suck it. I quite literally ran into Susan. I like Susan, but she really hasn't given me too much to work with, but at least she isn't over here complaining like someone I know. In any case, I went back up to the mines to do some more resource gathering. I woke up to a new recipe from Claire in the mail. And guys, look, duct tape is finally all grown up, so I can now find him easier. He won't be able to avoid my pets any longer. Of course, I was absolutely forced to do a bit of blackberry hunting, and I'm pretty sure in this expanded universe, the wizard is confirmed to have an affair with Caroline. He's also a Joja hater. I'm going to need you to be more open-minded, Wiz. You're telling me my cat can leave my farm? Tubbington, I know you were inspired by expansion, but I really need you to stay home, otherwise you might end up like Victor's cat. I didn't realize it was Claire's birthday, but I was already planning on giving her a gift, so I got that sweet extra friendship, and now we're sitting at 5 hearts. I'm sorry to say, but Andy having success with your seeds is not the good indicator you think it is, Morris. Leaving Joja, I walked headfirst into a Claire cutscene. I'm interested to learn more about her since her dialogue so far has been kind of bare-boned, especially when she's at work, but ooh, she wants to be an actress? Oof, I saw Gus was selling fried eggs. I had recently bought one from the traveling cart. I don't remember what I paid, but I can almost guarantee it was way less at the saloon. I did go ahead and buy orange chicken while I was there so I could give it to Sophia, and we finally were able to reach 8 hearts. I will have you know that that was the first orange chicken that wasn't from the trash that I gave her, and it might be the last since we are all maxed out right now. I went ahead and finished the animal bundle at the community center. And okay, Susan, I didn't know your game, but I respect it because she's clearly reached perfection. So I guess Marlin does not like bat wings? Honest mistake, okay? I mean, he's an adventurer. Wouldn't he like any kind of loot? Apparently not. Enough feeling sorry for my bad gift-giving judgment, it was time to go hunt down some dust sprites for Clint. I'm going to put it out there, but I am definitely woefully unprepared for the upcoming fair. I have not prepared anything for it, but look, I did harvest a gold carrot, and she's a hefty one. I did a bit of running all around town. I gave Marnie the amaranth she wanted. I gave Pierre the copper bar he had out for a request. Then I did some blackberry hunting on my way to give Linus his blackberry basket. I gave Marlin an amethyst. He is one tough man to please, but I am happy to see that he did at least like the gift. But then I was right back to the mines to hunt more dust sprites. Look at this fancy hat I found in the mines. Yeah, it's definitely going on immediately, no question about it. Just as I was scampering on home, I ran straight into Morris. This man needs a day off, but I don't think he's programmed for that. Marnie was at my door on the 66th. I had just given her an amaranth the other day, and she's already asking for more things. Greedy, 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 I see. She gave me a pale broth recipe in the mail, and I've got to say, that sounds like the most unappetizing thing ever. Regardless, I did go on ahead and give her the cave carrot she wanted. There was a new stranger at the Adventurers Guild, Brock. I wonder if there's been anyone I've missed. Anyway, it was back to the mines where I was able to finish up the request for Clint. Okay, I see you, Clint. I'll gladly take the 6K for that. The next day, I forced Robin to upgrade my barn, and And how rude! Victor won't speak to me. Not that I necessarily want to hear him talk, but I would like the option to, okay? It should be me not talking to him, not the other way around. I gave Elliot the Joja Cola he requested, and Sophia, the grapes I'm currently growing are actually from your trash, so it's kind of like you're growing them on my farm, if you think about it. I spent the rest of the day just running around foraging. There was nothing good at the traveling cart, unfortunately, so I did say hello to the wizard. He likes to complain that the townsfolk won't like him, but he hardly ever leaves his tower. I mean, he's not exactly asking to be liked with that attitude. I found yet another free bottle of Blue Moon wine in the trash. I hope that doesn't mean it's defective, not that I know since I do plan to use it as a gift. I walked into another cutscene. I didn't know Sophia and Emily were friends. Wait, I don't think anyone in year 1 has 2 present parents in Stardew, and we're not counting Maru and Sebastian, since Robin is Maru's stepmom and Demetrius is Sebastian's stepdad. Of course that all changes when Clint comes back. Oh, okay, so Victor and Olivia are the Jenkins. It's confirmed. I feel like I picture them having a more fancy last name. Anyway, after seeing Sophia happy for once, I gave Pam her pale ale. Please, Victor, I beg of you, stop asking to be taught and take the initiative to learn something on your own. I ended the day chopping wood so I could craft some more preserve jars. My fairy roses are finally grown. I have a feeling they would be a loved gift for Sophia since she has one in her room, but we are at full hearts, so no flowers will be sacrificed anytime soon. Finally, my dino egg hatched. I've been waiting a long time for you, my little dino. Okay, I take that personally. Victor snubbed me again. Sophia would talk to me, but Victor wouldn't. I don't think he knows how easily I could just slip and accidentally make his body fall over the cliff, and it would look like an accident. Oh, oops. But I wouldn't do that to Sophia given her past trauma. Plus, I'm a nice person and I actually talk to people. I don't just give them the silent treatment, which kind of does feel like being pushed off a cliff. Anyway, I checked the calendar and it was Abigail's birthday, so I thought why not give her a gift and fuel her rock eating habits. But then I headed over to the mines to source some more rocks since I was running dangerously low. Once again, there was nothing good at the traveling cart. So rude. I feel like earlier in the year, we had such a good thing going for us. I hate to see that that's no longer the case. I went ahead and bought my first pig, Andy Jr., so I could get my hands on at least one truffle for the community center. If I don't complete the community center year 1, I don't want it to be because I forgot something that's always required, like a truffle. Speaking of the community center, I finished the quality crop bundle and fall crop bundle as well, which meant I was able to finish off the pantry, which means that greenhouse will be all mine. I did also finish the enchanter's bundle while I was at it. Now, speaking of the enchanter, I reached 6 hearts with him and entered a cutscene. I forgot he has an ex-wife. He is a man of experience, I see. And yes, I will go on ahead and flirt with him, I just can't help myself. I don't know, Andy. I have a feeling that might be because you get mean when you're drunk, but that's just a guess. I didn't realize Olivia, and I guess by proxy Victor, had family back in Ferngill, and that probably contributes to why Victor did like that butterfish, but Olivia is out here trying to get me drunk. Which reminded me I did want to give her some wine. On my way back from picking up a bottle of trash wine for Olivia, I did run into Susan. I gave her a duck feather, but it wasn't even a liked gift for her. Oh, it is sad to see Olivia mourning her husband. Well, hopefully this trash blue moon wine will help you drown your feelings, and I think it will because it was a loved gift of hers. The grind, it never truly stops, Morris. And it didn't stop for me as I continued to cut down trees. My greenhouse is so bare. I hope to change that, but slow and steady progress wins the race. That's a lot of pressure to put on me, Sophia. And Victor, you have way more confidence in me than I do myself. I managed to reach 5 hearts with Morris. I truly do hope Morris comes to the fair tomorrow, but I guess the only days Joja has off are those festival days, so I wouldn't blame him if he needed a bed rotting session. I then headed on over to Clint's to have him crush open my geodes before donating what I could to Gunther. Olivia, don't you dare ever say that to me again. It will not be close between me and Pierre. In any case, I went back to the wood chopping grind to end the day. The fair was upon me, and so was Gunther, and I did think he was there to give me the key to the sewer. I then collected some things to display at the fair, but I miscalculated and had less items than expected, so I thought, okay, I'll triple up on mayo. But no, the Grange display ate my mayonnaise. It must have been that good. I have a feeling Pierre will beat me, so I guess Olivia wasn't so off base, but it still hurts to hear. But I do kind of feel like, you know what, it's not even my fault. I was sabotaged. So yes, Pierre did end up winning, but at least I got second place, I guess. And oops, I did immediately lose all my tokens. Ugh, hold for a second. I did put the hard work in to build my way back up to success. I redeemed my tokens for a star drop, then I got the prize ticket, rare crow, and some hay. Oh, I got 40k in the mail for helping the museum. Okay, the community is literally paying me back. I kind of love that. I walked into a scene where Marlon was going to the underground. He's a sewer dweller. With my newfound money, I did go straight to the vault room and purchase all the bundles there, so the desert will be mine. All mine. I'm excited to see what it looks like over there. Also, this was the first rainy day in what felt like centuries, so it was time. It was time to go back to catfishing. I ended up catching a lot of them. I probably should invest in a fish smoker, but I'm not too pressed about it. But I was able to sell 25 catfish I caught for that day. At the end of the night, I did reach level 9 in farming, and I noticed a new recipe, the yarn spooler. I have no idea what it is, so maybe I'll need to invest in a sheep eventually. First thing first, on the 74th, I made sure to buy an apple seed for the community center. I checked the calendar once more, and it was Marnie's birthday, so I thought maybe I'll just go give her a gift. And oh look, there's a premium bar. Okay, I can recognize your game, Stardew Expanded. This barn gives me an auto petter, auto grabber, and a heater. I mean, literally what more could you want? But with a price tag like that, I really don't see it in my future anytime soon, but a girl can dream. I did force Robin to upgrade my coop before heading back to town. It's okay, Claire, I too have not been invited to the workout class, but I think you should go because they'll probably accept you, but not me. I know this really isn't about me, but I'm gonna make it about me, okay? It was finally time to explore the desert, and it's huge. It's expanded, if you will. I did find the entrance to the Skull Caverns, and I made it down like 3 floors before heading back up. I wanted a sandfish, so you bet I eventually caught one, which meant I did finish off the specialty fish bundle, which meant that I finished off the fish tank. While I was there, I also finished off the exotic foraging bundle. I hate to say it, but the traveling cart was again of no use to me, but I did put my newly crafted sea maker to good use because I did chuck my first ancient fruit in there. I found a quality sprinkler in Sophia's trash. Again, her trash is the best trash. And oof, I guess I don't have access to the sewers. I could have sworn I did. I mean, why show me Marlon going into the sewers if I don't have access? But things did work out for me because I did find that sprinkler in the trash, since I did have every intention of buying one from Krobus, but that can't happen apparently, so I guess I'll settle and be happy with my trash sprinkler. I think I'm running out of new dialogue with Victor. He keeps saying the same thing over and over, but right as I said that, I did run into a Victor cutscene. I guess it's good he hasn't quit his internship with Ralph. Guys, are you seeing this? I honestly can't believe my eyes. I think I can now befriend Gunther. I mean, it's so weird to not see him behind the counter. I gave him a spare artifact and he did accept it, so looks like that's a liked gift. I'm just so happy I can befriend Gunther, and I'm even happier Claire joined that class I encouraged her to. Oh, I guess Sophia and Olivia drink together at the saloon, so I feel like the last time I saw her all alone, I was a little premature in my judgment of her being all alone. My bad. Again, I'm so happy to see Gunther no longer chained to that counter. He's free! Don't mind me if I buy some maki rolls for the community center while I'm here. You'll be coming home with me. On the 76th, I made sure to give Gunther another artifact, but we still have no hearts together. But it was another rainy day, so I did shift gears. But first, I made Robin upgrade my house because I would like to be able to have the option to cook some meals. But then it was time to get back to that catfishing grind. I was able to sell 30 catfish this time. Not too shabby. You shouldn't be surprised to know that there was yet again nothing good at the traveling cart, but I did reach 7 hearts with the wizard, which was, in fact, very good. Still no hearts with Gunther though, even though I have been giving him liked gifts. I finally made Clint upgrade my pickaxe to gold. It has been a long time coming. Once again, I checked the calendar and it was Robin's birthday. I forgot what she likes, so I'll just wing it. Okay, the persimmon I found laying around in one of my chests happened to be a liked gift, so I don't hate that, but I would have loved a loved gift, obviously. Oh, befriending Marlin is useful because he gave me some garlic to mask my scent for the Skull Caverns. He's a man after my own heart. In the meantime, I chopped down some trees since my house upgrade used up practically all of my wood. The time had finally come, my sweet gemberries were ready to harvest, so I snatched those suckers up and darted on over to the secret woods. Only Statue Man was guarded by a little maze, so it did take me an embarrassing amount of time to make it to him, where he did eventually give me a star drop. But then I had my sights set on fishing. I spent hours and hours fishing and was able to gather 24 catfish. I decided, okay, it's time for another thing. It's time to get a smoker, so I threw those slimy fish in a chest. I felt like I was waking up to a new house on the 79th. Oh wait, I did. Look how expanded my house is. Room for lots of activity. I thought Victor wanted to learn something new, but he didn't want to learn yoga with Olivia. He's all talk, no game. Oh look, Claire is actually here, and we do have 6 hearts together now. I'll pretend I'm not hurt by the fact I still haven't been invited to this workout class. Leaving Pierre's, I walked right into a cutscene, and it seems like I'm a Stardew Valley celebrity, and of course, Olivia would be fiending for my first batch of wine. Please, Martin, never call me ma'am again. See, this is exactly why I never talk to you. I also happened to reach 6 hearts with the man, the myth, the legend, the bot, Morris. While things were going good with the Joja employees, Martin excluded, of course, the same could not be said about the museum employee. Gunther, love me, please. This is getting ridiculous. To rub salt in the wound, I reached 4 hearts with Susan and 2 with Marlin. I then spent the rest of my day in search of some cave jelly, but I came up empty-handed. The 80th was another rainy day, and look, Andy Jr. is all grown up, but it's raining, so he can't find his first truffle. How unfortunate for me. To drown my sorrows away, I decided it's time to catfish. I did take a break to upgrade my watering can before it was time to catfish yet again. I did get the notification that I had some ideas to sleep on, which does mean I finally hit level 10 in fishing. I do feel like with this expanded mod, I have been leveling up my skills more equally, which I feel like hardly ever happens for me. I also noticed a fishing frenzy notification, and I'm not even gonna lie, I've never paid attention to them before, so I wasn't quite sure what to look for. Coincidentally, my first catch was for a catfish, but the next couple were not, and yes, I did take my bait off of my fishing rod for this. So, suffice to say, it felt so wrong, and oh, yeah, that's a frenzy. I caught 20 more catfish that day, and then ended the night by buying the candy recipe right before securing level 10 fishing for good. The next day, I took a peep at the candy recipe, and what is this birch syrup you speak of? I don't have the recipe handy. Putting my recipe finding skills on hold, I chatted up Claire. We now have 7 hearts together, and oh, Claire, you have no idea. He goes home at like 1 a.m. every day. You can't say he's not dedicated. Emily requested a catfish, and luckily for her, I have way too many in my chest. I perused Pierre's, and oh thank God, there was the birch syrup recipe. You're coming home with me. After securing that recipe, I cooked up some candy and a nectarine bread, which I do think is a recipe I got from Claire. I finished off the chef's bundle, and Demetrius stole that from me. I did not mean to give it to him. There was another stranger at the guild, Drake, and a new girl, Cassandra. I then spent the rest of the day looking for cave jelly, but the jelly was still evading me. I made sure to buy a sheep so I could use that yarn spooler, and unfortunately, there was yet again nothing good at the traveling cart. I made sure to hand over my catfish to Emily because I did forget to do that yesterday. Then I found a handy dandy battery in the Jenkins trash. Since I was in the area, I dropped off my axe for an upgrade, bought some salads for future Skull Caverns runs, and then headed on over to the mountain to look for cave jelly. Fortunately, I did get my hands on one, and yes, it did take long enough. So you just know I went ahead and crafted the fish smoker, and yes, having more than one would probably work better for me and how much fish I have to smoke, but there's absolutely no way I'm going to continue the jelly hunt. It was the spooky festival, so I forgot I couldn't go into town today, so I was left to go buy another chicken, cow, and a sheep. And then I started smoking all my catfish. I also forked over 100 hardwood to the tree stump and managed to craft 2 yarn spoolers. But then I continued that smoke and grind before it was time to search for the golden pumpkin. I'm so happy to see Gunther, Claire, and the wizard here. It's like the gang's all here without them even knowing they're in my gang. Ooh, and Linus and Krobus are friends. Linus, do you perhaps think you could slip me an iridium sprinkler under the table? Just between 2 pals? Whoa, this pumpkin is like the Halloween Town pumpkin. Oh snap, even Martin is here! There's actual monsters in the maze. It's getting real spooky out here. Nevertheless, I was able to make it through the maze and past the monsters to secure the golden pumpkin, ending the night with some sweet catfish profits. The raccoon took no time moving into the tree, but his presence was not a good luck charm since there was still nothing good at the traveling cart. But what was good news was that I finally hit 1 heart with Gunther. I dropped off my watering can for yet another upgrade and then gave Claire a fairy rose. I was hoping it would be a loved gift. And oh wait, I had cooked up that bread just for her. I guess there's always tomorrow, but I would have loved to give it to her today. I finally hit 8 hearts with Olivia. Should I try and date Olivia and Victor at the same time? How fun would that be? Well, truthfully, probably not that fun, since Victor would be involved. Also, Olivia, you can't just say there's some dark story about the previous owners and not tell me. That's so rude. I decided to reward Susan with the golden pumpkin since it was her birthday after all, but we only went up 1 heart since it was just a liked gift. Susan, you're seriously killing me here. I gave Caroline the pumpkin she requested, and then I decided to search around the caves for the last dwarf scroll I needed, but I had no luck getting the scroll to drop. But I did reach level 8 in combat, which means I can now craft a haste elixir. Maybe I will try that out. And with that, the fall season has come to a close. I'm getting closer and closer to finishing the community center. I just need the winter forageables and a few bulletin board things. So let's see what winter brings. This winter, I really want to lock in and focus on the Skull Caverns. But oh look, Olivia was the one to hook me up with some wine. Geez, look at Andy Jr. He's being such a freeloader like his namesake for the winter. It's like he goes into hibernation. Look at Sophia's winter outfit. And whoa, I didn't realize Andy had hair. I was able to reach 8 hearts with the wizard, and I was finally able to give Claire the nectarine fruit bread, which she did love, but we did remain at 7 hearts. Morris is looking dapper. I feel a little bit underdressed with all these fancy winter fits. I scurried over to the forest and was able to pick up a decent amount of bear berries. I also found a couple ancient fern seeds, but they don't grow in winter. I then proceeded to finish the winter foraging bundle, which finished off the craft room. I then finished the field research bundle before spotting a new stranger in the guild, Sawyer. I don't know if any of them are important, but there's more members of the guild than I expected, even though I know Marlon said there are 23. But then it was time to hit the mines to look for some ectoplasm, but I was unsuccessful. Okay, Susan gave me the gingerbread man recipe, and I would cook those up in a heartbeat, only I have no access to ginger quite yet. And guys, I'm a certified dummy. The yarn spooler says it will turn camel wool into yarn. Where are these camels you speak of? Because I don't see them anywhere. But now I'm just left with 2 unusable yarn spoolers. My bad. Morris wanted my help with marketing for Joja. He must have got a new software update. In any case, I did force Clint to upgrade my watering can again. And okay, even I can admit it. Victor is looking nice in his winter gear, and oh, he's a peppermint kind of guy. But I've had enough. It was time to continue my search for that ectoplasm. My first secret note was for the Skull Cavern 100 floor challenge, so you know what? Challenge accepted. I didn't find the ectoplasm, but I was able to reach level 10 in farming, so artisan, here I come. It was finally time to get prepped and ready for the Skull Caverns, and yes, I did decide to check my luck, and it was in fact very bad, but I already had my mind set on the mines, so I will brave the mines no matter how bad my odds are. So let's just say I'm going into things with minimal expectations. I was originally wanting to at least reach level 25, but I don't think I can be too picky with this bad of luck. I made sure to say hi to Sandy first, and oh, she's selling my shirt for all to buy. Please take that out of your stock. Thank you. The Skull Caverns were slow going, my luck was really bad. The TV didn't lie. But I did find one of the mysterious iridium rocks, and guys, I got my first prismatic shard. So I would say this bad luck run was a success, even if the ladders were very hard to come by. I was close to reaching floor 25, but I guess the game thought I had just been too lucky already. A swarm of serpents were coming for me, but I passed out before any of them could try and take my life from me. So yeah, maybe it does pay to go to the Skull Caverns on a bad luck day. The spirits were once again not on my side, but they're somewhat annoyed, so I will take it. I want to get to level 25, okay? And oh, yeah, I was not making that haste elixir anytime soon, like I thought I maybe could. Pam, would you please hurry it up? I wasted no time getting my galaxy sword before entering the depths of the mines. It was really slow going, and then I was being attacked by serpents. But then things slowed down again, but I did get several spicy eels, so you know I ate one up real quick and fared better in the luck department, which then allowed me to finally be able to reach level 25. But I swear, as soon as that spicy eel wore off, it was back to slow progress. Guys, the streak of bad stock at the traveling cart has finally ended. She had a red cabbage seed. Now, if only my apple tree would grow at a rapid pace. I entered a cutscene with the wizard, and look how cute the Junimos are. I want to find their home. I wonder if I'll be able to, or if it's just something that's mentioned offhandedly in this cutscene. In any case, I continued my tool upgrading efforts before taking a trip back home to pick up geodes so Clint could crush them open for me. I got another ancient seed from that, so I'm not complaining because my ancient fruit production is leaving a lot to be desired at the moment. I donated what I could to the museum and, Morris? Come again, what was that? There's no speed grow at JoJo, which is just so lame. Morris, get better sock. How do you expect to have my loyalty when you don't even have speed grow? So I bought some at Pierre's and then used it on my red cabbage seed in my greenhouse. I then hit up the saloon since people seemed to be swarming the place. Of course, Victor wouldn't talk to me. Olivia, on the other hand, gave me some wine, which I did in fact give right back to her. She loved it, of course. I followed that up with a regular mind session looking for the ectoplasm, but again, I did come up empty-handed. Ooh, the spirits are feeling very happy today, so really I have no other option but to go to the mines. And I can feel that luck already because I got another red cabbage seed from a serpent drop. But then it kind of went slow. I need more bombs to really make progress, or stairs, but I'm more of a bomb girly personally. I did decide to leave the mines early since it was so slow. Leaving meant I had enough time to turn in the Ghost Slayer request to Magnus. I forgot he had a name that wasn't the wizard. After that, I went to Marlin's to check on the artifacts in the back room, but I ran headfirst into a cutscene. And looks like someone is proud of me. There's another new guild stranger, Gertrude, and I love to see it. I think I have a spare artifact he might like. Well, hopefully he loves it. Gunther and I, well, we have a slow love because his heart is very resistant to my efforts. I then picked up my hoe, cracked open some geodes, and then had Clint upgrade my pan. I merely talked to Claire and we hit 8 hearts. Didn't even need to give her the gift I had in my pockets, but I did give it to her anyway. At the same time, I did reach 7 hearts with Morris. I stumbled into another cutscene at Pierre's. Looks like we're having a farmer party up in here. Oh, I love that Claire is fitting in, but I do think she might have gotten too comfortable because she is judging my pizza order. Victor, be real. The forest is not that far away. I was faced with another Marlin cutscene. That castle village surely sounds nice. I wonder if I'll be able to visit one day. And there was yet another stranger in the guild, Cordelia. I am taking note simply because Marlin did say there are 23 members, and he might just be right about that. Are you kidding? The game has betrayed me. Marlin didn't even like the artifact I gave him. He is so dead to me. To really show him up, I headed over to the mines to search for the last dwarf scroll, but I was getting in my head. Maybe I was looking in the wrong place, but I could have sworn from my last playthrough you need one from digging up the soil. And turns out you do. Eventually that red scroll was mine. Out of the goodness of my heart, I gave Linus a cave carrot since he likes forageables, and he was in the area, only he hated it. And I'm pretty sure we lost a heart. To try mend my own heart after that, I chopped down some trees. My intuition was right. Never trust Victor because what do you mean he's not rooting for me? He's so fake. And look away, there really is a dead animal in the woods. No wonder Marnie was frightened. Anyway, I proved Victor wrong and came out of the fishing competition victorious. On the 93rd, it was time to spice things up and give some new gifts to people. I began my gift tour when I saw some wiggling worms and realized I did want to upgrade my hoe, so I had to backtrack. But then when I was back in town, I saw a help request for Clint, so I picked that up and went back home to get the jade he wanted. After that, I did partake in a gift-giving tour at long last. I gave some Blue Moon wine to Gunther, and he did seem to like it. And yeah, I guess he did just like it. I would have loved for it to be a loved gift, but at least we now have 2 hearts. I proceeded to upgrade my hoe and turn in what I thought was a jade before giving Martin a chicken statue. Okay, so Martin does not like the chicken statue, and I guess by extension, he doesn't like me. The series of unfortunate events continued because I gave Morris a perfectly good battery since I thought it would recharge his brain, but he did not like that. To add insult to injury, I went looking for Emily to give her the amethyst Clint wanted me to give her, but she wasn't home. Oh yeah, she's at that exercise class I'm not invited to. Anyway, I did give her the amethyst, and that was when I realized I accidentally gave Clint a ruby instead of a jade, so I had to backtrack home and then go back to Clint's to give him the jade. Since I was there, I decided to crack open some mystery boxes, but most of the rewards were lame. And ugh, I didn't mean to use that totem. Now I walk so slow without my horse. I did go ahead and give Susan a cactus since she has talked about plants, but oh, she didn't even like that. I am striking out with everyone, it feels like. At least Marlin did like the autumn bounty I gave him. Again, I would have loved for him to love it, but with how things have gone today, I'll take a like. I did explore a bit of the forest, and I've got to say, I don't see any Junimos out here, but at least it was worthwhile to go out there since I did get some ideas to sleep on, which meant I was able to reach level 10 in foraging. My luck was not good the next day, so I decided to spend the time collecting supplies to repair Grandpa's shed. Let's see if I'm anywhere close to having enough materials since she really is asking a lot of me. Okay, I think I can get the hardwood. I know I'll need some to repair the boat, but I'm not sure I'm quite ready to explore Ginger Island just yet, but I do definitely need more iron. But first, let's go see how much hardwood I can get in a day with both the forest farm and the expanded secret woods. Morris, he does have a heart. Maybe he's not all robot after all. And yes, I did just go ahead and buy the iron ore I needed. No time to waste here. I then chopped those hardwood stumps in the forest, and it does look like I was able to get around 40 pieces of hardwood in one day, which honestly is more than I was expecting. I did go ahead and craft 2 more furnaces, so the smelting process would go faster. In the meantime, my second dino egg finally hatched, and at the end of the day, I was able to get the 50 iron bars I needed. On the 95th, the first thing on the agenda was to donate all the supplies for Grandpa's shed, but I went to the wrong place. I guess you don't donate the items at Robin's, but while I'm here, let me buy that big chest recipe. Good thing I walked through town because I hadn't realized the bookseller was in today. I donated my supplies to the box in the shed. It made an achievement noise, so I think that's a good sign, but we'll see how things shape up tomorrow. I did trade a few extra books I had lying around before buying The Way of the Wind and Price Catalog books. Well, Morris, hey, at least you're realistic. And Clint, please turn this hoe gold. I did go back to the secret woods to chop more hardwood since my supply was running low after donating most of it to Grandpa's shed. I really wish you could wear both a hat and glasses in this game. It truly is a shame. It was on brand to find Andy drinking by himself. To lift his spirits with something that wasn't an actual spirit, I gave him the crystal fruit I found on the ground, and he did like it. If I can say one nice thing about Andy, it is that he doesn't seem too picky, although he should have liked the berries I gave him in summer. Of course, I had to get my horse all suited up for the upcoming holiday. And don't make me forget, tomorrow is Gunther's birthday. Robin was at my door the next morning. The shed will be restored tomorrow, so I will have to wait. I quickly gave Magnus the void essence he wanted, and to be honest, Sophia, I think they would judge, but you could easily get a comfy, you know, those giant oversized sweatshirts that are basically a blanket. You really need to think outside the box. I entered a Gunther cutscene. What kind of monster wouldn't help Gunther clean up the place? Oh, we now have 2 hearts together. I did give him an espresso and maybe, oh, he just liked it. he's a hard man to please. But because of his birthday, we now have 4 hearts. But I didn't stop my gift giving there, because after I gave him a Stardrop tea, so we did hit 7 hearts. Quite literally started at the bottom, and now I'm almost at the top. Robin does not seem to be hard at work on my shed. Get to work. I didn't collect those supplies for nothing. Rude. This random visitor stole my style. Well, at least I wore it better. I did briefly partake in the Squid Fest so I could catch 1 squid. I handed it over to Willie, and I bet he's going to tell the Squid Fest attendant he caught it, so he'll be able to get a prize for my catch. I do sort of respect the hustle, Willie. Anyway, I caught 1 more squid before moving on with my life, and by moving on, I mean I went to the dwarf and bought some bombs. Bring on the boom. My red cabbage seed was ready for harvest, so you know what that means. But first, look, Marlin is out and about. Victor, I'm just saying you could, I don't know, move out? That is an option. I mean, Olivia's probably the one paying the rent, so I feel like you should be the one to make more compromises, but what do I know? These rich kids are just on a whole nother level than me. I went ahead and finished the dye bundle. I just need 3 more apples and the community center will be complete. Speaking of complete, the shed was all done. I guess I can now age wine. Wait, I don't even know if I have the cask recipe since my house isn't upgraded enough. I acquired a second greenhouse even though I hadn't put my first one to good use yet. Anyway, I did chop down some hardwood and then explored more of the forest. I found a maple syrup and it was getting dark, so yes, I can admit I did lose my horse there for a second or 2. My luck was very displeased, and you know what? I am very displeased with that, but I'm still going to the desert. Just try and stop me. You can't. I traded my jade for staircases and then descended into the mines. Again, like my many other attempts, it was slow going, as it feels like it always is at this point. I made sure to eat a spicy eel, and that extra luck made it less painful. At this point, I just need 1 more iridium ore to smelt another bar. Just 1, please. But it was taking forever. Like I said, slow. Painfully so. But eventually, I did get the ore I needed. But then my spicy eel wore off, so I was back to that slow pace. I didn't really make use of my bombs since my luck was so bad. So I could have gone faster in theory, but it wouldn't have been worth it to me. The next day, however, was a good luck day, so back to the Skull Caverns it was for me. But first, I did buy some more bombs and then I was off. Look how many dinos there are on this infested floor. And ooh, I got my hands on another prismatic shard. There was a treasure floor on floor 51, but it just had some lousy cactus seeds. Floor 58 had an auto grabber, and then I got another prismatic shard on floor 80. Floor 84 had some pumpkin soup, and then I proceeded to pass out on floor 85, ending the night with level 10 mining. Day 100 finally arrived. I mean, it's taken long enough, hasn't it? And first thing first was I encountered a rather boring cutscene with Gunther. No offense, but I was able to climb up into his room, so we'll test out if he likes some of these items he has in his room as a gift. It didn't work for Marlin, but I now realize I don't think that was actually Marlin's bedroom that I was looking at, so novice mistake. Anyway, I had a Susan cutscene, and can I say, I still want to go to Grampleton. They talk so much about it, and if I do say so myself, it's not fair that she can visit all these places, but I'm trapped in the valley. To follow that cutscene up, I did have one with Marlin as well. Well, I actually think it was a Gunther cutscene. Gunther needs an escort to the mines. Don't worry, Gunny, I'll be your escort. Whoa, wait, is Alessia a real NPC eventually? Her dialogue box is different than all the other guild members. See, talking to them pays off. Clint made me look like a total fool. I was ready to upgrade my pickaxe, but he clocked out early. To really show him up, I went ahead and bought the supplies to fix whatever it is the coal and iridium will be used to fix, because quite frankly, I forgot what it's even for right now. Oh, it's to clear the boulder at the summit? I guess Claire's not going to the night market, but she is going home earlier than usual, so I guess that's a win. Unless she's getting laid off, which I guess she technically is getting laid off regardless if I finish the community center. I did give a jade to Gus, and yes, I got it right on the first try this time. There was absolutely nothing good at the market, so I spent the rest of the day chopping hardwood. Clint made that boulder go boom. And I think Morris and I are fated to stay at 7 hearts for the rest of our time together. I really did want to reach 10 hearts with him before I finish the community center, but I just don't think it will be worth the wait. Sorry, Morris. On the other hand, things are heating up with Gunther as we did hit 8 hearts. I was finally able to force Clint to upgrade my pickaxe since he was finally back in office. And while I was there, I did give him the iron bar he requested. Susan seems happy for the summit to be open, so that's where I headed. Oh, I guess you don't need perfection to reach the summit anymore, or maybe this means I've hit perfection. It's up for interpretation, at least in my book, okay? I didn't realize the night market was still on, so I did take a look, but again, nothing caught my eyes, so I spent time cutting grass. Once again, I did forget Alex existed, but I was forced to remember his presence since I did get him for Secret Santa. And more exciting news, my first apple has popped up, so that means only a couple more days till the community center will be finished. Why does everyone want jade from me? It seems like a personal attack on me ever since I put a jade in my crystallarium. Sam won't come out of his room, so it was time to continue the hardwood chop. Eventually, I was able to give Sam that jade, but then it was right back to chop chop o'clock. Guys, please, sit down for this. It was my first ancient fruit harvest, and yes, it was a whopping 1 ancient fruit. Extraordinary, I know. I put that sucker straight into the seed maker. I then did some more hardwood chopping, surprising, I know, but now I only need 3 more hardwood for the 200 that the boat will require. I swear, Morris is such a bore these days. I encountered another Gunther cutscene. I will protect you, Gunther, don't worry. As your escort, I hope you know I charge by the second. Wait, why can Gunther have a hat and glasses, but I can't? This is discrimination against playable characters, and I demand justice. Gunther, I have literally reached the bottom of the mines. There are quite literally no floors that have not been touched by humans. But maybe I was wrong because look at all that treasure. I had to double check that it was Marlon's birthday because I was bringing the heat with my extra prismatic shard. He loved it so much that we did go up 3 hearts. And then I proceeded to enter a Marlon cutscene. Look, it's Krobus. I was wondering where he was. And it worked out perfectly because it was a Friday. My favorite day, Sprinkler Day. Marlon thinks Krobus likes me, and I take that as a huge compliment. So I wasted no time saying hi to Krobus myself, where I did buy an iridium sprinkler and the star drop. But then I headed straight back to the mines to collect some copper for Clint. After turning that in, I didn't want to leave my horse up by the mines all alone, so I trekked on back and realized I had forgotten all about the quarry. So I spent the rest of the day clearing all the rocks up there. I woke up to a nice 20k gold from my main man Gunther. It's unfortunate, but I never did get an apple from my fruit cave, but it doesn't even matter because look at it, look at my 3 apples. I wasted no time finishing the fodder's bundle, which finished off the bulletin board, which in turn finished off the community center. I don't know what will happen to Morris, but that's his problem, not mine. I hate to break it to you, Susan, but emails are old-fashioned as well. You really need to get with the times. Martin, I have a feeling you'll never need to work again after today. And Morris, I have a feeling you'll be on a very long vacation soon. We hit 8 hearts. Hopefully he stays so we can actually hit 10 hearts, but I'm not exactly counting on it. To pass the rest of the time, I headed to the mines in search of the ectoplasm since I had picked up that quest yet again. And guys, day 105 is the day. It's Community Center Day. Robin just wants more and more from me. I gave her 150 hardwood to repair Grandpa's shed, and now she wants 10 more hardwood. The nerve! Oh, Gunther is here at the community center. And guys, it's official. I'm a hero. I opted not to let Pierre hit Morris since Morris is my friend, but let the record show that was the first time I ever chose that option. Be civil, Pierre. We do not need to boycott JoJo. Forget about Morris. I have another blue man on my mind because Gunther and I hit 10 hearts. And oof, I guess Morris really is gone. I wonder where he went. But then it was time to celebrate with the mines session. I bought some more bombs before trading my jade for staircases. Then it was off to the races. Floor 16 was my first treasure floor, and please sit down for this. I got an auto petter. And yes, you heard that right. An auto petter. I really am a Stardew hero. I can't believe I got one in year 1. That's never happened to me before. I then got a red slime egg on floor 34, a prismatic shard on floor 60. I fell 11 floors to floor 80, so I was really optimistic about reaching floor 100, but I should have eaten more salad before I jumped, because right as I surfaced from the hole, I was attacked and murdered. I would have reset the day, but I couldn't, not when I had an auto petter. I guess you can't have everything in life. I woke up to so many recipes, and why does it look like there's a festival today? I'm so confused, but it doesn't matter because I had a cutscene with Claire. Oof, Morris left without telling his employees. That's stone cold for the man, the myth, the bot himself. I dropped off some hardwood to Robin before donating the rest of my hardwood to the boat repair. Because yes, I did repair the boat. Ginger Island, here I come. Well, not today, but I will be coming. Wait, I don't exactly like the sound of that. Anyway, I gave a diamond to George, and let me just say, the community center definitely seems more decorated, but will people actually use the community center? Well, the world won't quite know yet. I ran into Marlon, and I guess that graveyard by Susan's house is just a graveyard of his friends, so thank you for that information, Marlon. In less depressing news, I saw I had 9 hearts with Susan. Oh wait, did we just reach 10 hearts? Yeah, I think we did. To celebrate, I went to the sewers and secured the talisman. Okay, easy enough. Time to put that talisman to use, and oh god, it's so expanded in here. Where is the hut? I repeat, where is the hut? Where is the hut? I can't find it. And I never actually did end up finding it. On the 107th day, Scarlett personally told me she'd be around town more. Thanks for the life update, Scarlett. And really, I mean thank you, because I can now go to Grampleton. Are you kidding me? Forget about Ginger Island, I have more important things to do. Okay, maybe I should tamper down my excitement, because as it turns out, I can only go to Pond Wood, which is Scarlett's house. I was able to meet her parents, but I guess I can only really visit her. I mean, I see so many houses on the map. I want to go there. I want to go everywhere. Please, just let me explore. I also noticed Scarlett is romanceable. I wonder who the next guy to date will be, because it is slim picking with some of these expanded men. After my brief visit to Pondwood, I did go visit Ginger Island, and I was in the zone. I collected as many nuts as I could, but I didn't bring my watering can, so I did have to settle for fishing for the last nut I needed, which ended up taking forever. Way to kill the moment and my momentum. Anyway, I eventually had enough nuts to unlock the farm, and I just have to say, the water over here looks so pretty. And you would think I had my fill of exploration, but you'd be wrong. Dead wrong, because it's time to explore the forest. I mean, when I hear Junimo sounds, I am left with no other options. Whoa, I was transported to the forest? Now, that's public transportation at its finest. Way better than the crusty, dusty minecarts I have to use. Guys, I fear I do not know how to navigate around this place. It says to follow the mushrooms, but I still can't figure this out. This is kind of embarrassing. Oh wait, I'm just dumb. So yeah, that was very embarrassing. I saw some forageable mushrooms, so I thought it meant to follow those. I mean, to be fair, the mushrooms to follow are covered with snow, so they aren't the mushiest of mushrooms I've ever laid my eyes on. In any case, it was still taking forever to navigate around. I did have to completely zoom out to get a better understanding of where I was going. Ah, I finally see the huts. I repeat, I see the huts. And they sell things? Valuable, nice things? Who needs Mr. Key when you have the Junimos? But where are they? I want to talk to one. I attempted to explore the whole area, but I couldn't quite navigate my way over to those forageables. But I did give it a good try and eventually passed out in the cold forest since there was no way I was walking home. The 25th was, of course, the Feast of the Winter Star, aka Christmas. It's fall time in real life, but I am ready for Christmas, the music, the movies, the vibes. I need them, and I need them now. Admittedly, yes, I did listen to Christmas music on Halloween this year. Fight me about it. Ooh, Scarlet is here. I guess she left her parents behind for the holidays. How heartwarming. I did give my Secret Santa person Alex a pizza because I think he likes him. Honestly, it's been so long since I genuinely tried to befriend Alex. I can't remember what he likes. And that should sting Alex because when I first picked up this game in 2016, I was an Alex girl. Oh, that's so great. Sophia gave me a Nautilus shell. Can't wait to throw that in the shipping bin. Thanks for that. On the 110th day, Gus wanted an albacore, and he's such a sucker. He didn't know I caught one earlier and had been waiting for this exact moment. The fish will be moldy, but that's the price you pay for asking me for help. I had another ancient fruit harvest, so straight to the seed maker that single fruit went. I did go ahead and buy an iridium sprinkler, and ooh, it's someone's birthday today. I did try to hunt down Clint, but he wasn't at work. No, he was at the community center. The real question here, though, is why is he standing like that? I gave him a birthday ruby, and we did reach 8 hearts, and then I was forced into a Clint cutscene. And to be fair, Clint, the monsters are only lurking in the mines, so everyone who's died so far kind of died unnecessarily. Anyway, I did give the albacore to Gus before fishing at the lake for some largemouth bass. I was eventually able to catch 2, one for a Marnie Help Wanted quest, and one for Jody. Ew, guys, Olivia likes dry wine. I mean, she does give off dry wine vibes, but I fear that's the grossest kind of wine there is, in my humble and correct opinion. I gave Marnie that largemouth bass, and we now have 9 hearts. Okay, I didn't realize Scarlet works for Susan. Business must be booming for her. For the remainder of the day, I continued my ectoplasm search, but came back empty-handed yet again. A tale as old as time. My boy Gus gifted me a jukebox. Gus, Christmas was a couple days ago. You should have given it to me then. Then I wouldn't have got just a lousy shell. No offense, Sophia. I desperately needed to cut down some grass for hay since I had run out of hay. I then gave a diamond to George, a ruby to Clint, and an amethyst to Marlin. Marlin and I ended up hitting 9 hearts. Wait, why is Scarlet working with Susan in the winter? I mean, look at Susan's farm. There's nothing growing on it, so what work exactly is there to do? Anyway, thanks Susan, I am a gift to this world. Ooh, being friends with Susan pays off. Casks, kegs, and preserve jars now require less wood. But enough, it was time to go back to the mines to look for ectoplasm. But again, I had no such luck. So I left early to buy some bombs before giving Jody the largemouth bass she wanted. I got a new dino lizard friend, Frizzard. And then I spent the last bit of time in the day prepping for the mines. Only when I got done, there were still some hours left in the day, so I did go back to the regular mines to search for ectoplasm. But again, I was the unluckiest person to live and never found any. Finally, day 112, here we are. My luck was very good, so I couldn't resist a mine session. I mean, come on, it's calling to me, and I would love to clear out all my quests. I had a really good pace in the beginning, but things did start to slow down. I got my first prismatic shard on floor 62. On floor 72, I got some lousy cactus seeds. I found even more prismatic shards on floor 88, 89, and 97. And woo! I reached level 100. You know what, Mr. Key? I am special. Very special. Thank you very much. Now give me that snake milk, and be on your way. I found yet another prismatic shard on floor 102. I found a red cowboy hat on floor 107. Yet another prismatic shard on floor 107. I got some crab cakes on floor 118, and then passed out for the night on floor 128. In the process, I was able to reach level 10 in combat, which means all my skills are now level 10. And with that, my first 100 days of Stardew Valley Expanded have come to a close. I've got to say, it was so much more fun than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I didn't really have a ton of expectations going in, so I do mean that in a good way. As someone who doesn't really read dialogue, as I've mentioned before, I am shocked and proud of myself for paying close attention. There was a moment there where I thought things were slowing down, but now I'm like, there's so much more to explore. I need to do all the things. Mainly, I need to meet more people because no offense, but Victor is not my man. I gave him a chance, but he did the opposite of growing on me. He grew away from me, far away. I would love to explore more of Grampleton. I don't know if that's possible. Also, I did stick to not using the wiki, and I'm so happy I was able to find everything for the community center to finish in year 1. I'm sure there's some things I probably missed in general, but hey, that's what year 2 is for, right? Anyway, with that, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for staying for this extended amount of time. I know this video is very long, but I guess that's what happens when you read the dialogue for a change. So with that, subscribe if you like. Bye!